Very good afternoon. So we are here to discuss some of the basic important points about the general science. Of course, some part I will discuss also about the general studies, but the more focus will be on the general science. So first of all, let me ask, am I visible? Am I audible? If anyone has joined, you may. Am I? Yeah, as Helen said. Okay. So let's begin. First of all, discuss why you are here. Why you are here for this marathon class. So, to conquer the paper 1 of your Combined Geologist examination, okay, that is conducted by UPSC, okay, and the name here itself makes it a very classic kind of thing, UPSC, okay. So one thing you should be so sure about, that when you are tackling this GS paper, for GS2 you have been also well prepared till now, I guess that, because there is no need ki ab naya kuch you will be going there. So when I talk about this paper 1, okay, so there is a thing, like you are well aware that this is comprised of general studies. So the thing is that when we have to compare this with other examination, the best examination in my mind will be what? The UPSC CSE examination, that is civil services examination. That is, you can say, the most prime exam of this conducted by UPSC. So, but you don't have to go through all this procedure. Just to make a comparison that how you are going to tackle the questions, you should be at least knowledge that how you will be approaching the question, okay. So before going there, let's compare that what are the important part of this examination and how do questions come in comparison to UPSC CSE, that is civil services examination, okay. So when I talk about the CSE, most of the questions there are of dynamic and plus conceptual, okay. In case of your GSI examination, GSI plus hydro, if I am saying GSI hydro, prelims is same for them, so you should be well aware of this thing. So in this case, the question are mostly of factual, means fact based data. They are not going to ask you the repercussions of something, some phenomena. They will just ask what does this phenomena signify. Like if they are asking global warming, they are not going to ask you Kyoto protocol, what are the implications on poor nation, third world nation. They will just ask what were the essential mandate of Kyoto protocol, okay, just for an example. So GSI is more about factual plus conceptual, okay. Conceptual because you will be tackling the basic science part, so there this conceptual will come handy. Meanwhile in CSE the dynamic part is there. Now the important part is here that when we look up about the question of 4 years, because we have only 4 years of questions for the UPSC prelims like GSI prelims examination, okay. So when I have observed this thing by going through this way, I'm sure you would also have, that most of the questions are from basic science. Then the second portion is of, most important is of geography and environment. Look, many people will say environment is different, geography. No, I club them together because they are very much interrelated. Like when you talk about the climatic phenomena, it comes under the geography, but at the same time, when you say the impact of climate on the ecosystem, it comes under the environment. So geography plus environment forms a very basic, in order of preference I keep them on the second number. Then afterwards you have economics, and then you have history. History means modern, ancient and medieval as well, and then polity. So not to, you can say, discard anyone if many are so well versed in this subject, but most of the geology students are very good in basic science and these two, because they have to face these subjects meanwhile they are preparing also geology. The thing here is, Economy, if you are something into preparation of some other examination, then you have some time to go through this one. But since geology, GSI is a very specialization examination, so in that case, these three subjects are somewhat lagging behind. And the thing is that if you have not even started this thing, you should not be dwelling that much into this. But I hope that your general study class has been taught so well, so you should be at least having some good points regarding important points in these three subjects. Actually, sir has conducted classes of these three, na? Economy, history and polity, I guess so. Okay, so in this case, now today we will be focusing some of the basic science and also this part. Okay, I guess among the first paper is of how many questions? Huh? 120, and then again 120 question of paper 2. Okay, so if I say 120 this one and 120 of that one, the problem with most of the UPSC aspirant, whether it is GSI or different examination like EPFO and everything, the problem with you people, even with me, that the moment I get after the first paper, we started discuss ki ye sahi hai, this is wrong, how could be, rather than keeping our mind peaceful, we got into some kind of argument and keep checking ki ye sahi answer ya nahi. You should be avoiding that thing at all cost, otherwise it is going to cost you in the second paper, which will be bringing a, you can say, more than 3 times marks for each question. Like for this one, this 120 comprises 100 marks, this is 300 marks. So suppose in the circumstances, if you are going through this examination and God forbid, most of the time you will be getting like an average of 40 question correct, then you are in a very safe zone in this examination. But the thing is that many people have also been not under their notice that you should be at least getting 15 questions correct in this paper. Okay, this is the minimum qualification. So net 15 question, not ki 15 you are going to correct 20 and then also done some wrong 10 or 12 questions. So net 15 questions should be the very minimum, but we are not here for the very minimum. Okay, we should be targeting this portion. 40 questions at least should be net correct. Look, I am damn sure that in the examination hall, every time UPSC used to shock us. Okay, I have given the civil services exam also. So this is the thing there, that UPSC has this habit of giving you shocks every. You will think, acha, I have gone through 4 years question and all those assistant geologist, assistant hydrologist paper and all. But the thing is that every time UPSC will try to shock you. It depends on you how you are going to absorb that shock. So for that, what you should do, you should not be doing any OMR sheet or something for the first 5 minutes. For the first 5 minutes, what you should be doing, you should go through a skim through the question paper. Okay, what will happen there? The shock which UPSC has given you will be absorbing that shock in the first 5 minutes. Agar if you are going to just first go, oh, this is so easy, just take it an OMR sheet. The moment if 10 questions from a certain point of view, like I am not that good in a structural geology, just for an example. Moment I am getting some question of paleontology and something, I will be very happy, oh, this is the exam of my dream and all those things. The moment I will approach the 11th question and the like 7 to 8 question is coming from the this part, like a structural geology, you will be in a cell shock position, and this will impact your overall examination. Something similar with the paper 1, where if you are getting some question from general science, okay, you are too good to ki I will solve this and all this. After today class, I am damn sure you will be able to solve a lot of questions because I have provided a mind map so suitable for those questions. Okay, but if you are just willing to go through this general science and all, but the point is there that if you will face some economic question or political science question, then you will be in shock, some kind of shock. So the best thing to do is to go through 5 minutes of whole question paper, then it will be so wise for you. So now today we are here to discuss only paper 1, so you are well aware of paper 2 already. So the thing is that when we talk about the basic science, how this is different from the science question which comes in civil services exam or other examination of UPSC. Here you have to only worry about the basic science which you have already read in your school times. I know most of us tend to forget those things, but this is the thing which you have read from class 6 to 12th in your basic schools and all. That's why it is known as basic science. There is, in the syllabus, there is no mention of technology. Means technology is a state of art and all those things like AI, robotics, nanotechnology. So in GSI, there is no GSI prelims, there is no mention of technology. I am sure that you must have gone through the syllabus, okay? So there you will find only basic science is there, okay? So this thing you are already you don't have to worry about the technology part, but the thing is there at the very beginning of syllabus, you will see we have current affairs. And by current affair, it expands their variety to a very large horizon, okay? So in this case, they may give about the Chandrayaan 3 for an example. And in that case, they will give what is a Vikas engine, okay? So this is related to Chandrayaan 3. If you are well aware of the national politics and all those things, you must be familiar with this thing. Something in current affair they may give you about the G20. But because we have hosted G20 this time, so this is a very hot topic for every examination, even a state PCS or UPSC everywhere. So like, but in this case, you should be just knowing which are the member of G20, which are the 20. And even the name is itself a mistake. Yeah, exactly. We have this, last time we have addition of one of the union. Which union was that? African Union was inducted. So, yeah. So, but still the name is like, people use this G20. Okay. So, these are just some of the basic things. So, you should be knowing that from current affairs point of view, they may introduce this kind of technological question like Chandrayaan 3 and all those things, but that will not be of very dynamic part. Okay, it will be just basic thing that what is, how many kind of engines are used in this thing and all. So at least, and I am sure that you must be knowing these things. Okay, so now the thing is that how will you approach the questions first? Okay. So suppose there are suppose this is the fact 1 to 120 question. So what first I have told you, you should be first skimming the pages, so going through the question and all those things. Then what you should do, some people are in this thinking last May we tend to forget to mention the OMR and all those things. So in that case, the best way is to, you should go through 10 or 15 question each time, like it is 120. So you should break your paper into 10 or 8 parts. Means if you are comfortable, you can first do 12 question and then you may put in circle your OMR, or it may be possible you can do 15 question, but not bigger chunks than that. And at the same time, if you are not sure about some question, what you should be doing, you should be marking with some other pens on your question paper, like some attractive color like red. Okay. So, but you should not be filling if you are not comfortable at the beginning. Okay. Yeah, just a minute. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Chinmay. So, one thing is there. It is 12 to 15 question. You should be doing the 12 to 15 question in that process, like in a chunk. Look, UPSC examination will be very much pressure worthy. I know that. You should be also knowing that, or you will be going to know that, okay. But these are the process. This can help you very much in that regard, like how to break this question, how to make a complex paper into simpler ones, okay. And then at the end, just 10 minutes before the end, you should be checking that you should be have filled all the thing or not. Not let it left for last 3 or 4 minutes. You should be at least be filling all the question which you have done by 10 minutes before the examination is you can say finished or something like that, okay. Now the thing here is, I have told you how to go through these questions. So, but before that, you should be at least some basic knowledge about some basic science and all those things. Okay, so I have collected some of the mind maps for this thing and will be giving some 2 or 3 minutes on each of the topics, so that, and then we'll ask them to provide you a PDF of that copy, so it will be much easier. So you can rewind this video and can watch where is, if there is any, you can say, lagging or some kind of thing. Okay, so now this is heat. Okay, is it clear or no? I think I should enlarge this one. Is it visible to you people? I guess, yeah. I think it is. Is it visible? थोड़ा सा और, I guess I have to. Sorry. Okay. Okay, good. So now you can see that when we talk about the heat, so there is one thing we have mentioned here, heat and then temperature. So what is difference between these two, heat and temperature?
So heat is the energy.
Exactly.
And temperature is the measurement.
Exactly. So temperature is something which you measure the kinetic energy of a body, that is mostly in form of heat. Like the best example if we have to go through is the melting of ice or freezing of ice. The latent heat is there. That's why the latent heat does not allow temperature to rise or fall. Many people will say कि दोनों तो एक ही, but no, they are different. One is measurement of kinetic energy. That's why it is written measurement and meaning. It is reliable measure of the hotness or coldness of an object. And then heat, how do we measure heat? Using thermometer. Okay. So what is a thermometer? Definitely it is a device to measure the temperature. And then the important part here is that when we talk about the thermometer, there are two kind of thermometer. Okay, so one is clinical, another one is laboratory thermometer. And one thing I am requesting you, after this class, anytime you find time, go through this PDF and then rewind the thing. Okay, otherwise the problem is there. I will teach you, I am teaching you in a rapid movement. Though the thing is that if you are finding कि याद हो जाएगा, no, this you have to go through at least 1 or 2, and this is a very lucid, I can say you can easily go through this one. So there are two kind of thermometer, one is clinical, another one is laboratory thermometer. So for clinical thermometer, it measures temperature only between 35 degrees C to 42 degrees C. Okay. But and construction is like that, it is long, narrow, uniform glass tube, and then mercury is mostly used. Nowadays we have digital thermometer because there are a lot of complications regarding the mercury. Okay, so it has a kink that is at the end of the thermometer. Now the second one is laboratory thermometer. Definitely why laboratory thermometer has a higher range in comparison to the clinical thermometer, because most of the processes which we saw in exothermic, endothermic processes in laboratory does not have anything to do between the 35 to 42. Definitely they will be over a very larger area. So that's why minus 10 to 110 degrees Celsius. So these are the important point. Now what is important here? You have to remember this thing if possible, that for the laboratory it is minus 10 to 110. For this clinical we have 35 to 42 degrees Celsius, because our normal temperature is 37.6 to something like that, 38 like a normal. Fahrenheit I will say 97 to 98.6. Okay, some people have this, like I have relatively 98 kind of temperature, some people have 98.6. so this goes like varies like this. Okay, now the thing here is, let me go there. Yeah, so now this thing, that cloths for temperature, very basic, but if I come here and I ask you why we tend to wear cotton cloth in summertime,
Because it doesn't absorb the heat.
it try to precipitate the heat very easily. Like like you tend to, yeah, that's the thing. What does wool do? Wool tend to insulate you from the, it used to preserve your heat. So that's why in summer, light colored cloth, cotton cloths, which reflect most of the heat that falls on them, like that's why if we wear a darker one like this one, they will tend to absorb the radiation. And then in winter, dark colored cloths with woolen ones. Okay, so this is the thing. Now one thing is there, this is very interesting part, because this one is very important in your magmatic process. Okay, the convection part. Okay, so what is difference between these three, radiation, convection and conduction?
Convection is a process of that.
Conduction when two bodies are in contact.
Exactly.
Transfer of energy from one body to another.
Is conduction. Yeah, look, just for the simplicity's sake, I will say, when I talk about radiation, this is a pen in my hand. If I have to give you to Marthu, I am just throwing it away to you. This is radiation. It can go even in the vacuum medium. It does not need any medium. That is like of radiation. So this is transfer energy taking in a vacuum. Convection, if I ask Odit to come here and then Suranjoy ki aap, you should pass to Odit, Odit pass to Suranjoy, and then to you. What will be this?
Circular path.
It will be conduction, body to body transfer of. Now what I am doing, rather than throwing you, if I am coming to give you, this is convection. So yeah, that's the thing. So exactly. So in radiation, it is generated by emission of electromagnetic waves. It takes place through vacuum or transparent medium, means there is no need of medium in that case. That's why sunlight come to earth through radiation process. But the moment if there is solar energy blast or that coronal ejection, it takes place through the convection. Okay, because there is plasma thing that is laden with all these ions and coming toward the earth. That is not radiation, that is convection. Similar process by magma and all those things in the earth. So when fluid is heated, it carries the thermal energy along with and moves. So particle is moving with the energy. That is convection. And what is conduction? That is transfer of heat from one particle adjacent. It is like this motion. Okay, so now you are aware, this is clear. So now we will going to second thing. Actually this was the whole chapter of class 7. Okay, so I have tried to compile in a very smaller part. The important part is mentioned there. Okay, so and this slide will be very helpful for your even a state PCS and all those things if you are giving some state geologist exam or a state PCS exam. So this one is like, I can say, crux of all the thing. Okay, so now we will see here like acid, bases and salt. Okay, so when we talk about acid, bases and salt, so you can see there are neutron solution, there is bases and there are acid. So how we tend to know that something is basic or acid? That is by using the indicators. Okay, so there are some kind of indicators which you will see later. Okay, natural indicator, that is litmus paper, then China rose petals, that is hibiscus, and then turmeric also tend to. Now you have to do one thing. After going through this slide, you have to just mention that what happened when we treat litmus with basic, when we treat litmus with acid. So you have to just write it there. Okay, now synthetic indicator, that is phenolphthalein and then methyl orange. So these are the indicators. Okay, so you should be aware of this thing. Now comes to the acid and the basic properties. So type of bases, a strong bases, weak bases. Which are the strong bases? Anything, any base formed by the alkali earth metal or alkali metal will be a strong base. And if they are formed by some larger, you can say, metal like aluminum hydroxide, or they will not be that much strong. If it is with alkali metals, it will be a very strong base like NaOH, sodium hydroxide, one of the strongest base. And they are soapy to touch and they bitter taste. Definitely they react with acid to neutralize. This is very important part, how they feel to in the hand or something like that. So they are soapy to touch. Okay, these are the property. Look, अब इसमें भी if you will find कि इसको भी note making करते हैं, this is the final crux or something. So you have to at least go through this thing. Now for the acid, we have types of acid. Mineral acid. What are mineral acids? जल्दी
That metals
chelation property of chelation compound of minerals like even if it has some kind of silicic acid or something like that, so that comes along this mineral acid or formed due to chelation of the metal. Okay, organic acid, very simple, exactly. A strong acid, HCl, HNO3, H2SO4 and all. Weak acid, I can say carbonic acid, yeah, exactly, very good. So what they have some property, they are of sour taste and corrosive in nature. Okay, and a concentrated acid cuts through the cloth and are good conductor of electricity. Why good conductor of electricity? Because they have this H plus ion free movement. Okay, something similar will be with them also, OH minus. So these are the thing you know already, but that's why you have to make your senses open in examination. And for that, the most important thing is to get a good sleep before the examination. Many people think it 3 ghante or we should study or something like that. But the problem is there, you will not feel some kind of having concentration examination, and in that way you will be doing these very easy question, and that's why they return silly mistakes used to do in examination. Okay. Now, sorry. Now there is something. So what are the use of this thing like for the neutralization when something like if you have acidity problem, what you tend to take the caustic soda or baking soda or something like that, what does it do? It tend to neutralize the acidity. So the first process is neutralization, then the reaction between acid and ये सब तो you knowing common salt formation and all those things. The most important use is in indigestion, that's why I told you that baking soda thing. Then ant bite, ant are mostly of formic acid, and even the wasp bite and all the things. So you have to bring baking soda, it tend to neutralize. And then soil treatment. So one thing is there, this question is very interesting, not here, there is no mention. So why acid rain is not that much harmful to Indian soils?
because of that.
It is very harmful to the Taj Mahal and all those things, but it is not very much, you can say, damaging to Indian soils.
Sir, one of the reason may be, I'm not sure, but the basic property of the soil may be high.
Exactly. Indian soils are mostly alkalic in nature. Okay, so that's why acid rain tend to neutralize those things. Like this is the reason now for these times it is very much, you can say, even beneficial for the Indian soil. But time will tell further अगर ज़्यादा होते रहा after certain threshold, if it tend to become acidic soil, तब तो उसमें fungal growth है सब काफ़ी ज़्यादा होगा. You should be knowing that acidity tend to improve the fungal growth. Meanwhile, this basic condition is good for bacterial growth, and bacteria are very important in the soil. You will be knowing as a natural fertilizer and all those things. Okay. So this was a very crux of acid, base, and salt. One chapter is there. Okay. Now the next thing is physical and chemical changes. So I am sure that you are familiar with this thing also, but just for the sake, there are two kind of changes. Okay. Okay. Just give me this thing. I have grown from a child to this age. Is it a chemical or physical change?
Both.
Physical chemical.
Not by physical changes. Can you become child once again?
No, sir. Actually, the hormonals, what we are getting into at the time of birth, it will be changed into when we are getting to Earth. This also.
Exactly. So that is a chemical change, na?
So it's not a
Sir,
physical.
No.
physical structure is also changed.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that is the thing. Physical structure has then, but it is not a physical change.
Okay.
Physical change is any change which is reversible.
From one model to another.
Yeah, exactly. Change of a state, it can be transformable into different state at the same time.
So only chemicals.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the definition of chemical change. An irreversible chemical reaction, this is also enzyme reaction and all those things are chemical reaction involving, but I am going on a very generalized way, but for the sake of this thing that you should be knowing, chemical change are the first property of chemical change, it is irreversible, and irreversible, like there should not be consideration for the external force, like for the water to water to ion formation, you need some kind of external energy to dissociate them and all, but there is some external energy, it can't change on itself or something like that. Okay. So, and changes are permanent and irreversible of chemical change. They cause release or absorption of energy, endothermic or exothermic. New substances with new properties are formed. Simple सा बात है. New Maruthu, new Manjit, new Odit are formed after this chemical change. Like from the small child, you have become a very different person like this. So it is irreversible, and the newer you become newer every day, or you may say older every day. That is the thing. Curdling of milk, you can prepare this curd from milk. Can you prepare milk from curd? No, not possible. Something rusting of iron, not possible. Burning of wax wick, the upper portion, so it not convertible. Then we have this sorry, this is becoming a mark of Wolverine, I can say. So we have this physical change. Okay. Any change that occurs without the altering of chemical composition of a substance. Okay. So when I say chemical changes are chemically, your chemical constituent is your inherent property. If you are changing that thing, means you are changing yourself. Okay. So there is no scope of coming back to that thing. So physical change is reversible, meanwhile chemical changes are irreversible. That is the basic difference. So shape that can change temporarily. I am bending my hand. The moment I am removing the pressure, it is coming back to this, the whole socket and joint thing. The thing is that if you are melting an ice, and if it is, you are put in some colder place, it will become freeze again. Okay. If you are, you can say it, the best word for this is elastic nature. These are of elastic nature. Once the strain is removed, it comes back to the original position. Okay. Like plastic changes, they are chemical changes. Elastic nature changes are what? They are physical changes. This is a very good example, I can say. No new substance is formed, only the arrangement of molecules are altered. As I told you, no energy change takes place. The one thing. Melting of ice and boiling of water, dissolving sugar into water. You can say that dissolving sugar into water is like a chemical change, because sugar to, but the moment if you will evaporate the water, there will be sugar residue, salt residue and all those things. Okay, so this was there. Now next, go to the next chapter. It is weather climate adaptation of animals to a climate. Although this has some overlap of biology, but I will be discussing it here. Okay. So what is the difference between weather and climate? Say.
So weather and climate.
Yeah.
Weather is the day-to-day variation.
Exactly.
Temperature, and climate is the overall.
Exactly. So as Suranjoy had told, this is a very good thing in a simple term if you have to put. So weather are short duration change. Meanwhile, the climate is long duration, or better to say decadal changes. And for weather you can say day to day, week to week, like that, or month to month even. Okay. So weather is of short duration, climate is the average of weather changes over a longer period. I can say it like that. So when I say the weather and climate, you know that it is the difference. So what does, how weather is you can say impacted? First, definition is there. Oh, already it has been mentioned. The day-to-day condition of atmosphere at a place. Rainfall is very important to describe. Like we have also the desert, we have also the very lush green region and all those things. So rainfall is very important. Even you can see that Köppen classification of climate has this element of rainfall is also there. Okay. Then we have climate, the average weather. Yeah, this was what I was talking. The average weather pattern taken over a long time, 25 years. This is just example, don't go through this. I will say decadal, okay. It's called climate. Sun is primary source of energy. Every energy on the extraterrestrial earth is due to the sun. The thing is there, when I say climate change, so definitely there is some climate changes going on, But the thing is that sometime in, like every day we are listening that earth is getting warmer each day, but the thing is that sometime in, like in Delhi you will feel near 1 or 2 degree temperature, so you should be like, how I can say that the earth is warming, because on the weather scale it will not be shown much early. There will be definitely a lag between the impact of climate change on and the everyday weather. Okay, so this is, but I will not go into that philosophy, that is for more for your other examination of UPSC. Okay, so now look, these are the climate. So we have tropical okay, we have tropical rainforest, polar region, and then oh, shit. Just give me a minute. So we have this thing. So the regions are covered with a snow and hence are very cold, the polar region. So, and then we have this tropical rainforest. So there is one question, where is the highest insolation on earth?
Insulation? As a equatorial region?
Exactly. And where is the highest heat received on the earth?
Tropic of Capricorn?
Both place I can say, yeah. Because why, that's the question is, if the equator has highest you can say insolation, but why still the tropic of Cancer or Capricorn receive the highest heat?
Because of
This thing,
the receiving of
albedo.
albedo.
Because equator are mostly cloud cover, and you know that cloud are the most, you can say, able agent of this albedo phenomena. Okay, so that's why. So this question may come, that why the equator is not the hottest place on earth. So this is due to the albedo of clouds, constant cloud over the equator. Okay, so this is that thing. Now इसमें कुछ है नहीं ना अभी. And one thing is there, I am requesting you again, just go through this PDF after this class, okay? Okay, so now you can see some adaptations in animals. So penguin, their body is a streamline. Then polar bear, long curved and sharp claws to walk on ice, okay? Then monkeys, long trails for grasping branches of tree because they tend to live in aerial roots. Okay, and I have discussed this thing, the separation of human and monkey, that why we chose bipedalism. Meanwhile, they adapted more for this hanging nature. Okay, and then we have toucan bird, they have long and large beaks to reach fruit on the branches. Okay, so these are some of the adaptation you should be knowing. Okay, I will not go into details there because how we tend to separate it, because that will take a 4-hour class in itself. Okay, migratory bird, you know, some of the Siberian cranes, they used to travel more than 12,000 kilometers, and also migratory is also a kind of adaptation, like you can say escaping the harsh winter of Siberia and all those things. So this was that. Now the next chapter we have is wind, a storm and cyclones. Okay, so what are the properties of air? Okay, first thing, what is difference between an air and wind? I was saying wind actually.
So when we say here, it remains
A station, yeah, exactly.
wind is the moving air.
Yeah, exactly. So moving air is called wind, as you told. Okay, and air moves from region where direction of air pressure is anything higher potential to lower potential will move. So something is similar with the wind. Definition is this, and direction is from higher potential to lower potential. Then you might have remembered this thing in geostrophic wind and all, but it will not be coming in your GS paper 1. So that is mostly confined to your NET examination. Okay, so now two things is there. First we will see the properties of air in this side. Okay, so first property is that air creates pressure. So that's why if there was not be having pressure, why while there is air is moving, you will see leaves are shaking like this. Even sometimes we used to shake like this if there is very high air. So due to this pressure, the leaves of tree banners flutter when the wind is blowing. First example, air pressure regulate wind speed. If high speed winds are accompanied by reduced air pressure, cyclone में होता है the center I is so much reduced, so that's why there is a very large flow of air. That's why. And also one thing is there, if the gradient is very steep, there will be very large, you can say strong winds will be there. If it is very gentle, the wind will be also gentle in that case. Okay.
Is it not storms?
A storm, yeah. A storm is a type of wind. It is wind with a high thunderstorm and all those things. Okay. On heating, air expands and occupies a space, so that's why warm air is lighter than cold air. So ये आप जब पढ़ोगे वो cold front, warm front, and there it will be there. Okay. Yeah, climatology is very important here, I can say. So now, this is very important. ये सब छोटे छोटे जो टर्म होते हैं when I say that how wind currents are generated, so it is due to uneven heating on the earth. The basic this thing is like torrid zone, temperate zone and all those things. So why there are this Hadley cell, then what is that one, polar cell, and the F Ferrel cell and all those. So that is due to uneven heating of earth. Okay, so that's why between equator and poles and between land and water there is a differential heating. So that's why we will be having facing this kind of different winds pattern all over the earth, global wind pattern. But the thing is that this is of global nature and this is of local nature, mostly between land and earth. Okay, now cyclones, so I don't need to discuss it because what is a cyclone you have already read, although you know the cyclone is a system of winds rotating inward in area of low barometry, anti-clockwise in northern hemisphere, clockwise in southern hemisphere. Okay, so destruction caused by cyclone, you are well aware of that thing. Oh, where is this back undo? Yeah. Now, what is a thunderstorm? A storm of heavy rainfall accompanied with lightning, thunder, wind, and sometimes hailstorm also there. What is tornado? Violently rotating column of air. Okay, so this was one of them. Now soil. So I will take a 3-minute of break. Okay, so online student, do you have any question? Okay, so let's get back to the work. So one thing is there. Yeah, Asutosh. Okay, Asutosh. So now we will get back to this thing. So now we will be discussing the soil. Okay, so one thing is, what is a soil? Very important thing. You can see here also.
Loosened fragments of any rock or.
You can say it is in the simplest, and look, anything can't define soil. If I will define in some sense, one of my PhD advisor was very unhappy about this is not the way to define a soil. Okay, so that is the thing. Like from biological point of view, I can define in one way. From pedological point of view, I will define in one way, and from the geomorphologist point of view, I can define in one way. So in the simplest sense, I can say it is an upper layer of earth consisting of mixture of organic remains, clay, rock, particles. Okay. So why it is very important? Due to its vitality. Okay. What is difference between a soil and a barren rock? A barren rock is not able to support life. Okay. But it can anchor the plants and supplies water and nutrients. So this is the thing. Why this is important? Because plants are basis of a majority of life. Like in the saprophyte food nutrition, there is no need of plant, but no, again that cycle is like that. Okay, so you can say because they are what? They are the producers, or you can say the primary of all life form. Okay, so that's why this soil are very, very important. बट एट द सेम टाइम यू कुड हैव टोल्ड मी कि सर तो वाटर में तो जो वाटर प्लांट्स होते हैं वहाँ पे तो सॉइल का नहीं यूज होता है, तो दैट्स वाई सो मोस्ट ऑफ द लाइफ फॉर्म, आई एम नॉट से ऑल ऑफ द लाइफ फॉर्म, सो वन, बट द थिंग इज दैट इन वाटर द न्यूट्रिएंट्स आर फ्रीली अवेलेबल, so that is something happening in also in soil, that soil is trying to concentrate the nutrients for the plant. Okay, so this is the thing. So now first should we see properties of soil and then soil profile. Okay, so now talking about the properties of soil, so what is the first percolation rate of water in soil, you will see this in that seepage and Darcy flow and all those things. Then moisture in soil, very very important. Then absorption of water by soil, again very important. Effect of climate factors, you have seen this thing, if in arid climate the water table is so low and also over exploitation is very, you can say you can not easy, like over exploitation is a common phenomena in sub arid or arid zones. Okay, like in Delhi, Haryana and Punjab, even this the protest which is going, has something to do also with that thing, over exploitation of groundwater is going there, and so that is one of the thing. So likewise in your area, like if in eastern India like Bihar, West Bengal or Manipur or anywhere, there is not that much dearth of water, groundwater, so it is like very helpful for growing most of kind of crops. So this is why due to properties of soil, in most of those regions we have alluvial soil, loamy soil and all that, they are very good in preserving water to a great extent. But in arid region, as you say, red soil like or black soil, in what happens in dry season, they even try to desiccate. Okay, so that is that much. And why the desiccation property of soil, that is due to soil moisture, loss of soil moisture lead to desiccation in the presence of sunlight. Okay, so this is one thing. Now when we talk about, very important from this examination point of view is soil profile. They might not ask you about this properties, but this there might be some question, and if there will be question, I will say कि I have told you this thing कि यहाँ पे आएगा and all the. So for the soil profile, we have first layer, that is layer A. Okay, so it is a vertical section through different layer of soil. Humus and minerals are rich in topsoil, organic minerals. Okay, not those minerals. So humus, so dead remains of plant litter and all that, they comprise this humus thing. And you should be knowing that these humus are slightly resistant to the chemical leaching and all those things. Okay, so that is one of the property. Second layer, it has larger amount of humus but more of minerals. This layer is harder, but I don't agree with this thing, because most of the minerals are lost to the third layer, that is the layer zone of evaluation, that is elevation. Okay, so that is made up of a small rock, and fourth layer is layer of bedrock, that is maybe parent bedrock and something, if there is like the soil has formed in the in situ. Okay, not, this is not valid for alluvial soil or derived soil, this is only valid for the soil which has formed in situ at the same place from the same parent. Alluvial soil is not in situ formed soil, it has derived from some other parts. Okay, so this is the very basic thing. Then soil erosion, the removal of top layer of soil is called soil erosion. Very simple, इसमें ज़्यादा नहीं आपको जाना है. Prevention, so these are planting vegetation, afforestation and all those things. Okay. Now we will see motion and time. Now proper standard ninth classroom thing. Okay. So this was the place where first time I was like, in ninth it was not that difficult, in 11th when those derivation and thing come, it made it so boring chapter for me, at least I can say. But here you can see motion and time. So yeah. So what is time? Time is measured something by clock. Again, same thing like soil. You can't define what is time. Time can be, which can be measured by clock. It can be minute, second or something like that. A speed measured by a speedometer. Odometer is a kind of which is measured the distance moved by a vehicle. So odometer is used there. Now we will see, just a minute. Yeah. So this is a very basic, that how there is a day, month and year is thing. So if you want to go through that, but that is not going to help. So types of motion. So what is a motion? I am moving from here to there. So simply the action or process of moving or being moved, that is called as motion. These are very simple things, but sometimes we are not able to put in the words. Yeah, exactly. That is the striking, and this is the problem. If you will not go after a good sleep to examination, many simple things will not strike you in the examination. I can say with whole guarantee you can enhance your 10 to 15 marks only after getting a sleep. That is the thing. Okay. So uniform motion, types of motion, that is uniform motion, non-uniform motion, periodic motion. So these are the three. Pendulum is a, even there was a question on the basis of this thing, which of them are periodic motion. I guess in 21 or 22 there was a question on this one. Okay. So when the pendulum is a kind of periodic motion, okay, non-uniform motion, object, a speed of an object moving along a straight line keeps changing. Okay, non-uniform and uniform, it is like on the same motion like thing. So object moving along a straight line is with a constant speed. Okay, simple. अब इसमें तो कुछ है नहीं. Actually it is of class 8th or 9th, that's why it has been compiled in a very simpler thing. Okay, now electric current and effects. Okay, so one thing is there, what is an electric circuit?
The path in which electric current is
Travel through the circular motion.
Exactly, it is like a closed path. Okay, so an electrical network is an interconnection of electrical components or model interconnected electrical elements. Means it is interconnection of electrical element, which is cell, the device, anything which you, it is like transformation of chemical energy into electrical one. That is one sort of thing. Different thing, which anything through which the electrons are flowing, that forms an electric circuit. Okay, then magnetic effect of current. Last year there was a question on solenoid. So this has something, yeah, exactly. So this has something to do with this magnetic effect of electric. Yeah. So effect of current on a compass needle, how it will along north, south and all those things. Electromagnet, what are electromagnet? That has the magnetic property due to electric current, moving electric current. Electric well consists of coil or wire wound on an iron piece. That how this works. Then one thing is very important. Last what this one. So yeah. So even last year they have, no, in 2022 they have given a question on, they have provided the symbol in this GS paper too, and horizontal lineation, planar lineation and all the, if you have, आप लोग क्वेश्चन तो सारा देखे हो ना पिछले ईयर्स का, so just go through that one. They may give these kind of symbols and then they will ask that switch is on position, if that is break, if not. So ये, these are very simple thing but will hurt you the most. Okay, we have this tendency, even I have, oh, I am knowing that thing, so I should be at least just practice. This will take just 2 or 1 minute when you will practice it afterwards. And even if possible, I will say, if I will share you, they will share you this PDF, I will say just get a PDF of this thing, because online, in soft copy format it is somewhat difficult to remember or memorize or something revise. Okay, if possible, otherwise the online thing is, the soft copy thing is there. Okay, now heating effect of electric current. One is magnetic effect and then we have the symbol and then heating effect. So these two are, when we talk about the electricity, these two, the magnetic effect and heating effect, are very very important of an electric current. So we have electric heater, resistance के basis पे, contains a coil of wire, then incandescent electric bulb, not this bulb, those earlier old usual electric bulb. So okay, this is an incandescent CFL and LED. Okay, then electric bulb, the yellow bulb, that classical yellow bulb, and then electric fuse, wire made up of a, why fuse is there? To prevent the you can say burning of these electrical equipments. Okay, so this is like that. Then we have very important again, light. Look, if there will be question, I can guarantee you that there will definitely be 1 or 2 question from this light, electricity and motion. There definitely be 1, 2, even 3 question can be there. So at least there are some further slides on the basis of this, so you should be definitely be going through these parts, okay? Because look, one thing is there, because they are the basis of every science possible. Even in biology, if we will learn about the eyes, so this is the one of the thing. So now for the light, we have mirror, three kind of mirror: plane mirror, concave. Will this video be? One second. Here you go. Yeah, I will ask them to you can say post it later after the class finishes. Okay, so you will be having access to this PDF. Okay, don't worry. So when we talk about the light, sorry, this one is one of my fellow. So when I talk about the light, we have the very important thing is mirrors. Okay, before going there, this part, yeah, this is the basic of light. So what is a light? It is a form of energy like heat. It refers to the visible spectrum. Okay, reflection of light, the process through which, this is the reflection. I don't need to explain what is a reflection. So then we have this thing, mirrors, very important. Okay, just before going there, this is an interesting question. Does light travels in a straight path on curved path? Hmm? If you are in a standard 6th, 7th of 8th or even 9, you can say it travel in rectilinear path, that is a straight path. But when you learn about the wave and particle property, they, exactly. So this is the thing. Normally, when we are in the senior secondary, you can say middle secondary school, we tend to say light travel in a straight path, and that's why this pinhole camera. When there, if there will be question that how does this pinhole camera work, this works on the a straight propagation of light. Okay, but because that is a very short distance, if it is coming from very far distance, that's why this, yeah, galactical lenses, like why some galaxy tend to appear so bright, that is due to because they tend to curve around a very dense thing like near the black hole. These are the thing, gravity. When on the larger scale, light tend to travel in a curved path. On a smaller scale, it tend to travel in a straight path. But this is not the topic for now. This is very interesting topic, but not for now.
Strode path and wave path are different.
No, wave path has a very, you can say this curved part is due to their behavioral property also. Yeah, exactly. So like look, photon is a, as what? It is a, you can say bundle of charges, okay, or bundle of energy, photons. So definitely if it is going to interact with some of the large gravity body, so definitely it will tend to deflect from its a straight path. So it is like that, okay. Mirrors, we have three kind of mirror: plane mirror, concave mirror, convex mirror. So image, this one is very important. जब आप लोग उसको पढ़ोगे, when there will be, so image formed is erect and of same size as the object. Very important, very simple yet very important. I am damn sure आप लोग भी इसको बोल चुके होंगे अभी तक. Then in concave mirror, image formed can be a smaller or larger in size. It may also be real or virtual. Both of the case. Convex mirror, it converges the light falling on it, and image formed is inverted and real. So this thing inverted and real, in this case real or virtual, and here it is of same size. I will not explain what is a real image or inverted image, but and even in examination the question will come like this, okay, ki which one is like inverted and real and which one is real or virtual, okay. Now from mirrors to lenses, what does mirror do? It tend to reflect. What does it lenses do? It tend to refract. Yeah, refract, pass, yeah, refract, okay. So even I would have been there, I would have told same thing, but so one thing is there, okay. So now we have this convex lens and concave lens, okay. So one thing is there. What does convex lens do? They tend to, you can say, converge the light falling on it. So like if the light is like this, it will be converging on convex lens, and the image formed will be inverted and real, okay. When you will be going through this after this class, just mention inverted and real thing, okay. This is very important. For concave, diverges the light outward. That's why they may ask you certain kind of aspects जैसे आप पहनते हो. So which kind of lens is used in this case? If it is myopia, then which kind of lens will be used? If it is hypermetropia, then which kind of lens will be used? Okay. So it diverges the light outwards. Image formed is virtual, erect, and smaller in size. Okay. So it is like that. Okay, water as a resource. I will move ahead because ये आप लोग उसमें पढ़े हो hydrogeology में. Okay. So, but water table, you know, depletion of water table, that's not a, but I should go through, otherwise लगेगा कि कुछ छोड़ के तो. Okay, I will give it a quick. Now one thing is there, water resources. The most important thing is water cycle. So you can know that water circulate in three forms. Which equation describes these three forms of water? Triple point of water. ये आप लोग फेज रूल में भी पढ़े हो इसके बारे में, क्लॉसियस क्लेपरॉन इक्वेशन. Okay, so always remember these are the things. This is how interlink the general science with geology. Okay, so in solid form it is ice and snow. In liquid and gaseous form I cannot go into further that. Water table is like the space between the particle of soil and gas between rock are filled with water, means saturated with water. If the layer, the pores are saturated with water, the upper part of that is called as water table. Okay. Aquifer, you know, there are two kind of aquifer. Then infiltration process, how the groundwater is recharged. Then rainwater harvesting. So this terminology, look, one thing is not mentioned here, like Bowery, Khadi Bowery and all those things, this like that. So traditional way of collecting water. In your region, there will be different name of, like in there is cool tanka and all those things. So you should be, even in Tamil Nadu, I think there is a specific term for this thing, water harvesting system there. So especially you should be knowing that thing. And then we have this drip irrigation. So this is technique of watering plants by making use of narrow tubes. Okay, drip irrigation. Then we have aeroponics and all those things, but they, I think that they will not be going to that much depth. If you are going through the GS, UPSC, forestry and all those things, it is a very important part there, but not here. Okay. Depletion of water table, increasing population, a very bigger couch, increasing industry again, and then agriculture. This is one of the very significant part which is often becomes unnoticed, because irrigation has been made possible even in the arid region, a very good harvest, but at the cost of water depletion. So there is a terminology, water export. What does this term means? Water export. Definitely you are not going to export water like in packaged water. That is a kind of water, mineral water export, but it is not like that. You water export.
That is for commercial purpose, we will drilling the water.
But export means anything which goes out of country. Here, you are right. That is water exploitation, what you are saying. This is the play of word actually.
Sir, is it that ice that is carrying in the containers?
No. Suppose if you are growing rice, okay, so for 1 kg rice you need 1000 liter of water, and if you are exporting that rice to another country,
That is water.
exactly in that process you have used 1000 liter of water, you are exporting to another. This is the phenomena of water export, and this is the thing, the agricultural prone country like India have that much loss of water due to water export. So that's why they used to say कि ऐसा चीज में we should be expertise, there should be less consumption of water, and that should be our priority of export. But this will take a lot of time from all different, like from the governance initiative, and then, you know, even a single change used to take a lot of time in our country. So that is topic of different. Now the thing is that wastewater survey, yeah, again the terminology will be important here. Just give me a time. So when I take about the wastewater, because water wasting is a very significant problem these days. So one thing is there, water housekeeping practices. So one thing is, अच्छा, just tell me, what is the problem with throwing cooking oil in these drains? How it tend to impact the water quality or the drain quality? This one, cooking oil should not be thrown into drains. Why they are saying like this?
But oil can be on top of the water.
It tend to choke the drains. Okay, so there is one initiative by government, and this is important. Reused cooking oils. Okay, so what they do, they have this collection of used cooking, and from there they tend to make these you can say hydro molecules and hydrocarbons and all those from these used cooking oils and all those things. So that is one thing. Use chemicals to kill microbes. You can definitely kill chemicals, but at the same time you are also harming the exactly. Don't throw waste in drains. Definitely that is a common problem in Delhi or even most of the India, I can say. Like they have even made one of the good rivers into like a nala or something like that. So it is like, so what is wastewater? It is rich in lather mixed with oil, goes down drains from sink or showers. Simple. Detergent, oil and all those things like that. So if someone is asking the properties of wastewater, so rich in lather means jhaag काफी ज़्यादा. You see sometime in Yamuna river, there is a lot of this lather and all those things. Yeah, exactly. So now one thing is there, we need also to differentiate between the wastewater from different sources. A wastewater from home domestic use will not be that much problematic if it is getting some kind of from industries or hospital offices. Definitely it is so much essential. So now we have this and which kind of content of sewage? We have protozoans, definitely malaria and all those things, cholera, salmonella, typhoid, very common in Delhi. आप कहीं पे भी बाहर जाओ खाने, you can't guarantee कि next day you will be well or not. न्यूट्रिएंट्स, फॉस्फोरस एंड नाइट्रोजन एल्गल ब्लूम के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, मतलब कि खराब वे में. देन वी हैव नाइट्रेट्स एंड फॉस्फेट, अगेन एल्गम ब्लूम, एंड देन human feces and animal wastage. Can't say anything about that. So alternate arrangement of cleaning of water before, removing pollutant after accretion, filtered and chlorination. So these are some of the process. So one thing is there that how you take, this means separation of sludge basically. Okay, so and then you filtered and chlorination, and alternate arrangement of sewage septic tank, where you also tend to get some kind of gases, useful gases, chemical toilets, the bio toilets in train and all those things, and composting pits to make in a compost, vermiculture and all those things. Okay, so this is one. Okay, what is the problem with landfills actually? You know what are landfills? In Delhi you will see, Suranjoy, you can tell this thing, what are landfills? Yeah, exactly. What is this landfill thing is that, suppose if there are a lot of waste, okay, so there is a barren ground, okay, so what they will dug the ground and they will dispose the this waste into that thing, and then they will cover it from a layer, and then again they will dispose, then they will cover it, and later after some time they will develop a park or a playing activity area on that thing. That is was good in some aspect. The problem is that one is groundwater leaching. Exactly, non-biodegradable problem, and the third one is release of methane. Because in soil you are providing them an anaerobic condition, definitely there will be methane. So these are the problem with this landfills. So one is groundwater, if it is coming in contact with those things, definitely there will be some leaching through that. This is from this wastewater, you can say. Okay. Now this is very important again. Hey, everything is important. I should not be saying this is very important and this is not important. So one thing is there is synthetic fiber and plastic. Everything, most of the day, our clothes are sometimes synthetic fiber, even shoes we wear, everything is from this thing. Plastic is very, you can say, useful, but at the same time, this is the problem, a very harmful thing. So Look, there are the synthetic fiber and plastic, so we tend to divide in plastic form, then we have natural fiber, and then we have synthetic fiber. Okay, so among the plastics we have thermoplastics and thermosetting plastic. Okay, so what is the difference between these two? Thermoplastic, they deform easily like PVC pipe or something. If you will put it on the heat, you will see, yeah, deformed, very, yeah, melted, something like that. But this thermosetting plastic, the definition is very important, and maybe कि इसी साल आपको क्वेश्चन न दे दे इससे, that may be. So they do not soften on hitting. Okay, so bakelite, a kind of used in making some kind of buckets or this kind of things. Okay, so bakelite is kind of thermosetting plastic. And then another type of plastic is melamine, that is fire resistance. Okay, and coating on firemen, definitely if they are fire resistant, it will be put on the firefighters clothes. Okay, Teflon, very in the, so while don't stick, non-stick or non-stick cookware, Teflon is very important there. Even I use that thing, I can't criticize that thing. Okay, but this is somewhat, look, the thing is that it is very controversial. Some say that there is not problem, but if you are not keeping it in a good way, it may cause a lot of problem, carcinogen, but it is carcinogenic with a question mark. There is some studies say it is a carcinogenic.
Anyway, it has surface tension, so carcinogenic is not that much impact.
Exactly, one thing is there. And then we have another, what are the characteristic of plastic? They are non-reactive, that's why it tend to, even if you are keeping some kind of like acid or base, they are not going to react. Durable, definitely, that's why I use plastic. Okay, like if I have a glass vessel, a person like me will make it for like 2 or 3 days every day. Okay, but if it will be of plastic, it will not be of that much problem. And they are poor conductors, one of the very important in this PVC part. Okay, now, and not only poor conductor of electricity, also poor conductor of heat as well. Yeah, if you are handling a iron container or a steel container with a hot water, yeah, exactly, but in plastic it will be somewhat difficult to transfer that heat, and that's why they have one of the utilities. Okay, then they are non-biodegradable. Biodegradable to chhod hi do, us pe we will not get that thing. Then natural fiber, one of the very important is cellulose, like what we use in cloth, cotton or silk, they are natural. Then we have disadvantage, cloths, cotton cloth catches fire and not suitable for summer, some of the fire, not cotton. Okay, then we have synthetic fiber. So what are synthetic fiber? They are strong and durable, they are wrinkle resistant. The like cotton cloths को आपको without iron किए हुए it will wrinkle, yeah, but if you are wearing some nylon or rayon or something, you don't need to iron. Like this cloth, I never used to iron this thing, so it is very much handy for me. So this is wrinkle resistant and absorbs little water. Cotton will absorb most of the water, but it will absorb. That's why it is not good when you are going for a run or something. In some cases, some of them are good, but polyester are not that good. That's why the athlete tend to wear like this thing, pure cotton, like this thing, and the okay. Then we have among the synthetic fiber, we have nylon, rayon, polyester, acrylic and polybull. Okay, so for the nylon, they are first fully synthetic fiber, and textile industry have a lot of you can say utility. Then rayon is what? It is artificial silk. Okay, curtain and tents we use, because if we tend to make the utilize silk from silkworm for making tent and curtain, there will not be any silkworm left on earth. Okay, then we have polyester. So what does polyester do? It tend to bind with cotton and give some you can say durability to the cotton cloth. Okay, so different kind of is dacron, terylene, sari and sailboats are made of this polyester. Okay, polybull, simply the name itself suggests polyester plus bull. Then polycord, that is polyester plus cotton, a kind of. Then they are light, soft and warm, this acrylic, and they are used for sweater. This Kenchua or something like from Decathlon, they are mostly made of this acrylic thing and all. So this slide is very, very important. So you should be mentioning this thing in your notebook is synthetic fiber and plastic को तो definitely अच्छे से पढ़ना है. You have to after this class. Okay. Now I will be going to next one. Microorganisms, foe and friend. Okay, so in this case, okay, right. So what are microorganisms? Anything which is visible under the microscope, means it is not visible to the naked eye. Okay. So they may be single celled, they may be multi-celled. You will study that algae and fungi are multi-celled. Meanwhile, bacteria most of and protozoa are single celled. Then bacteria, what are they cause? Bacteria, tuberculosis and typhoid. देन ये आप लोग बायो में जरूर पढ़ना कि विच काइंड ऑफ डिजीजेज लाइक दे सैल्मोनेला टाइफी एंड ऑल दोस थिंग देन इकोलाई इज देयर फंगल डिजीज एनी फंगल डिजीज रिंग आई गेस रिंग वर्म इज लाइक that is part of biology. I will not be, although I am from biology, I should be. Then protozoa, malaria, dysentery, okay, virus, covid सबसे बढ़िया एग्जाम्पल है, measles, polio, dengue, hepatitis and algae disease. Algae also tend to upset your stomach a lot. Okay.
Sir, I have a doubt. Still, this algae is belonging to fungus or bacteria?
No, they are a group in the protists in themselves, na. This is a type of microbes, not like, look, they are multicellular organisms, okay, and some of algae are thallophyta, they belong to plant also, that is the thing. Yeah. That's why if you keep water for a long time in a vessel, there will be some green, yeah, so that is alga, okay. Don't confuse with amoeba. Amoeba is a different thing, okay. Amoeba also called amoebic dysentery there, okay. So, and there is brain eating amoeba, but that is not topic. That is this Naegleria flavescens, okay, but that is not here. So, what are pathogens? Any harmful microbe will be called as pathogen, okay. So, common disease like cholera, common cold, and sometime two things can. It can be either causing a disease or it may be carrier of disease, okay. So when it is causing a disease like virus, it is causing a disease in itself because it is replicating your mechanism for your its own benefit, okay. But causing a disease like cause disease in animal, cause disease in plants, so anthrax in cattle, that is bacillus anthrax, then cause food poisoning, and then all those things, anopheles by malaria, Aedes dengue and all those things, because you have to read it afterwards. Virus, this thing, the very important thing is that you should be knowing the cause, like yellow vein mosaic disease, that is caused by virus, tobacco mosaic disease caused by virus, then, and I guess even some kind of bacteriophage also cause, although bacteriophage tend to eat this bacteria, but sometimes they also cause some kind of diseases also. So citrus canker, that is caused by bacteria, then fungus, rust of wheat. Even in Interstellar movie you have seen the blight of this potato and all those things, if you have remember, or if you were that much indulgent into that movie, I tend to do. No, Interstellar. उसमें आप नहीं देखते वो okra and all those things tend to get wasted there. So in this slide you will find a lot of this thing like how the anthrax in cattle, bacillus anthrax and all those things. Then food preservation, the best example of food preservation, pickling something, okay, pickle is the best example. So common method, while pickle को while में vinegar, very important, and salt, okay. I think vinegar में यूज जैसे सी फूड या ये सब को भी करते हैं, I guess जहाँ तक इसमें, okay. And then using chemicals, the problem with these are the real preservative that we have to take care of, like sodium benzoate, like how there is like the pre-mixed vegetables and all, how they tend to preserve for 6 months, 7 months, or the homogenized milk, exactly. So no, frozen is different thing. This is the sodium benzoate, this is the synthetic preservative, and that is not good. These things are not harmful, that much harmful for our body, but this is absolutely harmful for our body, okay. Now we will be going this side. You can see a whole chapter has been collapsed into single thing, otherwise it would have been so much time taking in that case. So now we have criticized a lot these microbes, now it's time to appreciate them. So Preparation of bread, yeast, exactly. Curd formation, lactobacillus. Clean environment,
In that oil spilled.
oil spilling bacteria and all oil eating bacteria and oligozappers. Yeah, this term,
Oligo.
oligozappers. They are oil eating bacteria. Okay, one thing is that, but इससे देखो एक मैं एक what are called as natural cleansers of atmosphere.
Natural.
Cleanser मतलब कि natural clean.
Cleansers of
हाँ
atmosphere.
हाँ. These are not bacteria or virus. There is a ion that is called as. This is hydroxyl ion are known as natural cleanser of atmosphere because they tend to associate with N2O, and that's why they tend to remove this thing from the atmosphere. That's why they are known as natural cleanser of atmosphere. Okay. Although they had not to, बस यहाँ पे ध्यान आया तो मुझे बता दिया कि कभी कभी क्वेश्चन आता है इस टाइप से. Okay. Then formation of alcohol, not important for us. Okay. So now we will go for their nitrogen cycle. So important is, what is a nitrogen cycle? It is fixation of N2 by anabaena nostoc. These are the agents which tend to do this nitrogen cycle. So what is, you can see why this is cycle. There is a whole thing going on like this. So bacteria convert nitrogenous waste N2 gas, then atmospheric N2 taken up by blue-green algae, and bacteria convert N2 into protein. Okay, then animal feed on them. Then this is like a cycle. Okay, this is like that thing. Now coal and petroleum. Afterwards it is 6 minutes. I will take after this thing a 2-minute break. Important for you, especially for you people who are going to give examination to day after tomorrow, because this is your part more than mine. Okay, because now I have retired from the active examination life of geology, so I can say that. Look, in actually in this CSIR NET examination, many a times like question when I see the, although this need not to be discussed right now, but the thing, these are not important from that point of view, but at the same time this is very important from the GATE which you have given or GSI point of view, because you know why was GSI was formed. It was not to look about the what GSI do today. It was not the primary purpose of GSI. The primary purpose of GSI was to look for coal. Okay, in the beginning it was only made for looking for the coal. Okay, so that is exactly. So now back to this thing, coal and petroleum. Okay, so coal, useful products from coal is coke, coal tar, coal gas. So what is a coke? It is tough and porous. It is a reducing. Look, the thing is there. These are the important point, like it is a reducing agent or something. You should be knowing that thing. And then we have this coal tar. It is black, thick liquid, and it is used in the metalling roads. Okay, so road you can say formation and all those things. So this coal tar that in Hindi we tend to say alcatra and all those things, which is used to make these roads and all those things. You have seen that very warm thing that used to laid before for the road formation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is a coal tar actually.
Okay, tar.
Yeah, tar. Yeah, simple timber. Not that tar which is right now. So then we have the coal gas. It is processing of coal to get coke, and it is a gaseous fuel. Now you can say that which have the natural resources safety measures, but that will not be coming here. Now natural resources are of two types. This one is inexhaustible, one is exhaustible. That is conventional, also renewable, non-renewable. You can give any name. For the petroleum, you have constituents like petroleum gas in LPG, petrol, kerosene, diesel, lubricating oil, paraffin wax, and bitumen. Okay. So what is difference between these all? They are formed from a different stage of a distillation called fractional distillation. Because we can't use crystallization because there is no formation of solid crystal. So distillation, when we look, the process is similar. Like in crystallization, it is separating out of the liquid. In this case, there is separation, but it is in liquid form or some fluid form. Okay, so this is one thing. Now we have this combustion and flame. So what is a combustible substance?
Firing substance.
Hmm?
Firing substance.
Which can cause fire. Simple. Okay. So when we say combustible substance, we have this kerosene, LPG, petrol, and non-combustible water can't cause fire. Glass, sands, they or don't use to cause fire. So in the combustible substance, we have different type. One is rapid combustible. Like if you are putting some kind of what you can rapid combustible petrol or something, it is rapid combustible. Then explosion means it has some tendency to explode and something like that, so it produces heat, light and gas. Okay, volcanic eruption is a kind of there. A spontaneous combustion, burning of phosphorus, that's why it is very, you can say, safely handling should be there for phosphorus, because it sudden catches fire, that is like that. Then conditions of combustion, presence of combustible substance definitely, then presence of supporter. And what is the supporter there? Yeah, exactly, oxygen is the supporter. This is the basic thing, and that will be, if you will tend to get you can say in that trap, this is the problem. Okay, heating the combustible substance to ignition temperature. Now from ignition temperature I have one question: why anthracite are very good coal?
Because they are easily getting fired.
No, not at all. They have a very high ignition temperature.
Because of moisture.
No, because carbon content and all those things. And that's why they have a very high ignition temperature, so they don't tend to catch fire easily. And at the same time, they have a very good calorific value, because and they, you can say, burn with a very short blue flame. And even if anything, if have a short blue flame, it is very much even good from the, you can say, pollution point of view also. So that is one thing. And then we have this thing all non-contact of air and fire, because from air we have this provision of oxygen, and then fire extinguisher pours water, one of the fire extinguisher, use of CO2 and cover O2. Okay, because it is like a blanket thing. Okay, ignition temperature, flammable substance, inflammable substance, so burning of matchstick and all the thing, you have to rub something. Now in the among the flame we have different zone: black zone, bright luminous zone and blue zone. These three are there. They may ask,
Blue zone is for effective breathing.
you can say that, and they may ask you which one having the highest temperature, that you have to found afterwards. Okay, so now we have fuel, that is cheap available conventional fuel, and then produces more heat per unit of yield. Okay, and then harmful effect, first one is global warming, greenhouse effect, and increased level of CO2 and acid rain. Definitely. Why acid rain? Because they tend also to emit SO2 and NO2. These are the something. And then condition of combustion तो already discuss कर लिया हम लोगों ने. Okay, we will discuss it after taking a 2 minute of break. Okay, so this is a metal and non-metal. Online viewers, do you have any question till now? I guess for different sort of thing, one of my friend,
For general.
I guess it was something like 187 or 188, more than that.
For 400.
Yeah. I will say we try to aim 250, not bill, because this side seat is like 1/5 of the our last
Yes, sir. It's 56 only, and the geology is only 36 or
34.
34. 34.
Hey, even in this hydrogeology 4, and then so aiming for even less than 2, because one thing is there, na, you have also to go through this thing, because the marks of prelims are also added in final examination.
Sir,
So
if there is any that departmental promotions are there in through this, or only through merit?
in, there are definitely the assistant geologist, and they will be going through that, but this is something similar like that. If you are going through a state PCS, so it will take for an SDM to become a DM for 15 or 20 18 years. Something similar, being an assistant geologist, it will take 15 or 16 years. Meanwhile, here you are just going to be placed as geologist or junior scientist in hydrogeologist. So that's why I will say, don't stop कि इतना हो गया अब नहीं हो रहा है. The problem is there. Look, I can say from my last experience of this UPSC examination, civil services, when I first got the question paper, all the person in my classroom examination hall were shocked to see like it. But the moments, that is was one thing I have never betrayed myself of, that first I will go through the whole question for 5 to 10 minutes. Then afterwards, when I started solving, many times the answer is hidden in the question itself, and something very important from these factual parts. If you will make yourself calm, many a time the question will be very solvable. At first glance, it will say, "Arey nahi hota," and just move ahead. Just for that moment, you should be moving ahead, but at the same time, after some time, you should come back to that question and try to solve that one. But don't stuck at a question. That was the problem in most of my fellows faced in CSAT examination. They are stuck in a mathematical option, and there they got ruined their whole chance there. So something you should be wary of here. Like suppose if there have some question come on flammable substance, you be like, "अरे यार ये आता था क्यों नहीं हो रहा है ना?" Leave it that time. Then yeah, exactly. That is the look. You should be always be solving in batches. Either this 12 or 15 question batch, or for the first hour you should go through all the question like that, but you should not be marking anything on OMR sheet for that one. I will say that बहुत बार होगा क्या, there will be problem at the beginning if you marked something on or you encircled on OMR, just 10 मिनट बाद लगेगा oh no I have marked this thing, ये आंसर होगा, and that will hamper your different other question also. You will be going in that sales of thing कि यार मैंने गलत कर दिया and all those problems. So you should be always wary of this thing. Okay. And UPSC examination is not that much difficult. The problem is that the response of yours make it difficult. That is the thing which I have learned, or many of my friends have learned in these days. Okay. Now coming back to this thing. Sunjay, are you there? Any? Okay. So one thing is there, when I say metal and non-metal, you are already very familiar with this thing, because being a geology student, you are very familiar with this thing. So when I talk about the elements, there are two kind important here, metal, non-metal. So the metal have this physical property, they are malleable, ductility. Malleable means if I beat them, they can expand, like gold. Ductile means drawing into wire, wire drawing. Yeah, exactly. Lusher, their sineness. Sonorous, if I beat them, ton ki आवाज जो आएगी and all those things, like they have this sounding thing. Conductivity, very good conductor. And solid except this mercury. Okay. Now in this case, when we come to this non-metal, they have this physical property, they are non-malleable, non-ductile, bad conductor of heat and electricity except few of them. Okay. When we talk about graphite, that is very good, like that is also made of carbon, but that is a very good conductor, but few of them are there. Non-sonorous, yeah, a very, you can say, not that much good quantity of sound. It will like, yeah, you have beaten me, that is the thing. Soft metals, solid non-metal are mostly soft. Okay. In this case, when we talk about the metal, the exceptional properties are one of the exception, as I told you, mercury. Lithium is the lightest element, not highest element. ओके सो आप लोग जब इसके थ्रू जाएंगे तो यहाँ पे आप यू शुड लाइक lightest element and it is also the very interesting you can say fact about the lithium is it is first of the metal to form in universe. Okay, this is the first of the metal. Na and K are soft, hence cut with knife. You can cut sodium or potassium with knife. Okay, don't do that. Usage, it is used for making machinery, automobile, satellite train. This is not need to be discussed here. Chemical property, yeah, this is important, I guess. So on the reaction of O2 they provide metal oxides, then there is rusting of iron, okay. Then and for rusting of iron you required both of the thing, the presence of oxygen as well as moisture. It can't get rust in the single agent, you need both of the agent to have your rusting thing. Reaction with acid, so they will form the metal anions, okay, and with the you can say release of hydrogen gas, okay. Reaction with bases, if that is a strong base is there, then again this H2 will be liberated, and then reaction with H2O, that is very slow, you need a catalyst to increase the rate. So Fe reacts slowly with H2O and NaKNCO, alkali reacts very fast in comparison to other metals, okay. Displacement reaction, definitely displacement series you have learned this in 7th standard, okay. So like here zinc is replacing the copper because copper is on the you say displacement series, copper is lower than zinc, so zinc is stronger in displacing the copper there, okay. So one thing is there. Now non-metals, they have their chemical property, react with O2, so like C plus O2, CO2 and all those things. Non-metallic oxides are acid, okay, like this H2SO4 reaction with H2O. So this is very important, they have no reaction, okay, or very feeble reaction, a very feeble component is formed like C with O2 water, it will form like, if you put C in water it will not form anything. If you will put CO2 in water, then carbonic acid will be formed. So that is written here, reaction with H2O of non-metal will, no reaction will be there. First it have to found some kind of compound to get formation of something, okay, this is the thing. Now exceptional property, graphite a good conductor as we have discussed, and diamond this thing. Now essential for life, oxygen, carbon dioxide, then antiseptic iodine solution is there, water purification, bleaching powder, chlorine का use हो रहा है, chlorine oxide, then we have this fertilizers and all those things. So this is simple. Now we will be going to this thing, friction. Okay, tell me, is friction helpful or deteriorating? Exactly. I am standing here because of friction. Otherwise, I will be floating there. Okay. So, friction can be very advantage as well as a lot of energy is wasted also in friction. Like if you will put brake on your tires, there a lot of heat energy is produced and all those things. So, we will see that what are the advantages and disadvantages of having friction. So now one thing is there, necessary, yeah, that is the term I was looking for. Necessary evil for this thing, walking, writing and holding objects. If I am writing like this is the necessary evil for this thing. Friction depends on more rough, it will be more on rough surface, less on a smooth. So I can moonwalk easy, although I don't know how to moonwalk, but I can do, if someone knows, they can do easily moonwalk on this smooth surface, but it will be very difficult on rough surface. What factor affect this friction? Nature of surface in contact, just I have told you. It is more on rough, less on a smooth. How hard the two substances press together. If I am sliding like this, I am not pressing that way it is easy to slide. But if I am putting like this, it is very difficult to slide. So it is that how hard the two substances are pressed together, easy. Independent of area of contact, even if, look, even if I am putting this 2 finger and putting the same amount of pressure, it will be very difficult to you can say rotate. But if even I am putting like this, so it will be generating same kind of friction. Okay, unlike just force, because look, force is a stress is dependent on area, like force upon area is pressure or a stress. Okay, but here what is a friction? It is a relativity or a relative nature of two stresses. So that's why this area has not that much importance, only this how hard that force is important here. Okay, I will not go into that much detail, otherwise ये बहुत interesting topic है from this point of view. Okay, friction and evil. Why it is evil? Because bearing out of material, this is very problematic for us who tend to run or walk more. Soles of shoes, why your soles of shoes get deteriorated over time? Due to friction. Wall bearings, and like what you put in this vehicles and all those things, they need to replaced. Then steps of a stair. Okay, parts of machine, they all get to wear and tear by due to friction. Produces heat, very problematic, yeah. And deliberate increase in friction, so soles of shoes ground and brake system in vehicle. So what happens there? It could have been possible कि why there is some kind of gradations on your sole to increase that friction कि आप क्या trekking shoes for an example, they have a lot of beads on or a spike shoe. Why? To increase the friction there. Okay, same thing similar in braking system, you tend to increase the friction कि जल्दी से brake लग जाए and all those things. Okay, now we have types of friction. One is rolling friction, another one is sliding friction, then third one is fluid friction. They have different. Rolling friction like that is offered by tire and all those things. Sliding friction, if I am going like this is sliding friction, and fluid friction means based on viscosity and all those things. Okay, now rate of friction, reducing the friction, simple, you have to smooth the contact surfaces. Use of lubricants, lubricant tend to reduce the frictional energy and all. Increasing the friction, provide better grip. Like if look what happens after workout, I am not showing this thing. So what is happening, if your hand is smooth, you will not tend to hold that much, but if your hand is rough, what happened, you tend to, yeah, tight grip, increasing the grip. Okay, make surface rough. Okay, simple सा बात है. Like traditional, we have this making of masala on a stone thing and those. So they used to grade it like that. Yeah, exactly. So that is how you make the surface rough and treat the tires of car. Okay, so that's why there is gripping on car tires also. After some time when they tend to wear, and if someone is also going through, the brake will not be able to applicable that much. So there should be some ridges on the car tires also to provide a better friction. Okay, so one thing is, and essential aspects of it, like if there was not a friction property, I would not have been able to hold this thing. Okay, this is all due to friction. That's why it is a necessary evil. Can't hold glass tumbler, greasy glass without it. Suppose if there is a jar, suppose if you would not have been this friction thing in your hand, you would not have been able to open it. Okay, so could not write with pen pencil, that would have been a very good thing, but I can't say. Helps to move object, stop object, and change direction of motion. Okay, no building can be constructed simply because that is held by the friction with the earth surface layer. The friction is offered due to the earth's property in there. Okay, able to read on blackboard as chalk particles stick due to friction. This is the thing. So this is a very interesting part, so you should be going with this slide. Now next one is force and pressure. Okay, this is going in a retrograde manner. Any question like that? Okay, one thing is there, when I talk about the force and pressure, what is a force?
The energy applied.
Okay, maybe, yeah, good.
Pull or to push.
Yeah, simple. Any definition, the simpler, a push or pull on an object is called as force. Okay, so what is force? Force is a vector quantity, vector scalar. Remember, it has a magnitude, it has a direction, means it is a vector quantity. Makes an object move from rest, and or it can change the speed, or it can change the direction, it can change the shape and size, cause some or all efforts. Okay. When it tend to make this one, make an object move from rest, or it can change the speed, that is inertia property. Okay. Changing direction, again, if I am putting something like this, so I am also putting some kind of force to change the direction. Shape and size through a stress and a strain, all the thing, which is very important from a structural geology point of view. And then all your effort are due to your force. Okay, that is the thing. Pressure, force acting on an area, simple. Then exerting pressure on solid, on liquid, on gases. So why does this solid fluid tend to have a lot of pressure on the wall? Because they tend to expand. So their expansion pressure tend to put a lot of pressure on wall of container. Meanwhile, solid is so much, you can say, into themselves, they don't used to put that much on the container. They used to put their weight on the surface. Okay. Atmospheric pressure, I don't need to explain what is atmospheric pressure. It is a pressure exerted by atmospheric air. Okay. Weight of an air column over an unit of area. Then effect of force, tries to change shape, try to change a speed, try to change direction. These three already discussed here. Okay. Now exploring forces. Okay. So if there will be some shear thing, something there, so there will be definitely some differences in different kind of force that's used to cause shear. And if there is no difference, there will be some kind of compression and dilation, which you will see. Contact force, non-contact force. So what is a contact force?
Any force that is given by contact?
Yeah, exactly, that is the thing. One is muscular force, like if I am pushing something, I am not like ना कि वो क्या उसको बोलते हैं, I can say कि मैं यहाँ से देखा और उसको एकदम वो कर दिया, वैसे नहीं. I have to push something like this. Muscular force, friction force, definitely contact के बिना तो friction होगा ही नहीं, and mechanical force. These all are, you can say, mechanical force is like some amalgamation of friction force is definitely there. Okay. Non-contact force, magnetic force, definitely, gravitational force, and then electrostatic force. So these are the non-contact. Frictional force में तो अभी आपने पढ़ा कि direction is always opposite to direction of motion. There, yeah, this is an important point. When we say frictional force, the direction is always opposite to the direction of motion. Okay. Now, this one has been discussed. Let's go to next part. A star, yeah, this is interesting. Drink of water or something. It is in the bag. Okay, it's outside. You know, these all things which we are seeing, the phenomena, these are all the part of observable universe actually. Okay. There might be something where these laws of physics will not work. Okay, but वो बहुत interesting part है universe का वैसे. Okay, let's get back to this thing. So there we will discuss very briefly about the stars and the solar system. So which star is closest to Earth?
So which?
A star is closest to Earth. You should not be taking this much time.
Moon is
A star, I am asking Marthu.
Moon is also a star, sir. No?
Sir, sun.
Yeah, exactly. Sun is the closest star to Earth. Okay. So, and before that we have this, after that we have Proxima Centauri, Alpha Centauri. Okay. But they may give you answer. So, what are celestial objects? Okay, that are which in observable universe. So, they are meteorite, comet, stars, meteors, planets, moon, your moon, and then asteroid. So moon is what? It is a satellite of planet, not an star. Okay, so now these are the things. So when it's come to solar system, we have the sun, comets. So one thing is there, where are comets formed?
Particles in space and
In the Kuiper belt of extraterrestrial solar system. Okay, it is far beyond the Neptune or Pluto, if you can say. From there, this Halley comet and all those things used to come there. Okay, now we have this asteroids mostly found between Mars and Jupiter, but there is a Trojan asteroid, like a Trojan horse, which you can't predict like this. So most of the asteroids are found between Mars and Jupiter, but some are also NEA, near Earth asteroid. They are potential hazardous to Earth. In sometime, like these dinosaurs may be impacted by some kind of this near Earth asteroid. Then we have meteors and meteorite, the shooting stars, definitely familiar. Then planets, inner planets. These are this thing. Okay, they have written this oppositely. Outer planets should be this one, and inner planets should be the Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. Okay, so there you should need to make a correction. They have just put it in the opposite way. Outer planets are what? They are mostly gaseous planet. Okay, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Meanwhile, inner planets, our Earth, all those things. Okay. So now what we used to do while doing the distance of universe, we tend to take in light year, which is an astronomical unit. So distance traveled by light in 1 year, that is a light year. Okay, that is a very far distance, like in even a second it is like 2.99 and all those things, kilometers, lakh kilometer and all. Phases of moon, we have gibbous moon, crescent moon, waning phase, waxing phase, like how this new moon and all moon are concept is there. So there. Then we have artificial satellite. So important from this point of view that we have this Chandrayaan, also artificial satellite. But the thing is that not all the Chandrayaan, all part of Chandrayaan is satellite. Only orbiter is satellite. Meanwhile, other one is rover lander. That is not a satellite. Okay, so this, yeah, this is a vehicle. Yeah, it is a rovering vehicle. So these are the very small points should be clear to you. Now constellation, like in childhood we used to say like this is some kind of great warrior is there. So Ursa Major, Big Dipper, Orion, Hunter, you can observe not in Delhi's sky but outside Delhi you can observe this thing. Sirius, that is bright. Yeah, this Sirius is brightest star on the observable universe. And which is the largest star? Venus is not a star, it is a planet.
what was that two stars that appearing on 3 to 4?
I am asking which is the largest star. It is Betelgeuse. Okay. It is the largest star in observable universe. Okay. So then we have this kind of thing. Now new moon is having two type, new moon day, full moon day. So it is a cycle of every 14 days basically. So it is like that. So this was a very, and yeah, pole star in Hindi we call it Dhruv Tara and all those things. So always appear, remain at same position and not visible from southern hemisphere. So they will ask if a person is in Australia, will he be able to view this thing, pole star? No, he will not be able to watch this pole star. It is only visible in northern hemisphere. Always remember this thing. And this is always in the north part of there. So in the past time, many travelers used to do the direction thing from observing this pole star. Okay, God knows what they were doing on the rainy days, I don't know. So, again light.
So no planets or stars, sir?
No, definitely not. Jupiter was destined to be a star, but it was not. What is an star? Okay, just tell me, what is an star? One thing you can say that emit lights, or better you can say that has their own source of energy. They can produce, exactly, exactly. And like moon is not a star because it only reflects that light. light produced by sun. Okay, so this is the thing. So light, yeah. You may visit, you may find it third times also. Okay, so yeah. So what is a light? It is a form of energy and need medium to travel. But one thing is there, does it really need medium to travel?
No, sir, light can travel in any.
Exactly. So one thing is there, it does not need any medium to travel. It can travel through some of the medium, but it does not need medium to travel, or any of the electromagnetic waves does not need any medium to travel. And it does not mean कि ये नहीं need करता है तो it may not, it will propagate through some medium, but it does not, there is no requirement. They can travel also through vacuum also. Okay, now two of the important phenomena, refraction, reflection. What is refraction? It is bending of light when it passes from one medium to another. Reflection is traveling backwards in that case. Reflection, angle of reflection, angle between ray and normal. Okay, then normal, angle of incidence, the at angle which it strikes certain surface is angle of incidence. Laws of reflection, angle of reflection is equal to angle of incidence. Okay, then we have this terminology, incident ray, normal ray, reflected in all those things. Lateral inversion, mirror, you can see left side of the object appears on the right and right side of the object appear on the left. Okay, so this is surface, irregular reflection. If surface is some kind of rough or something, there will be irregular reflection. Like on water surface, there is irregular reflection. On mirror, there is regular reflection. Dispersion, what is dispersion? It is a splitting of light into color. Prism, you use that thing. Rainbow is a natural phenomena. Okay, so now with that thing, very precious thing to us is human eye. Okay, so we have this thing in eye among the retina first. So site of image first. So they may give you question, which is the site of image formation in our eyes. So retina is there, and in retina we have cones and rods. So cones are sensitive to bright light and rods are sensitive to dim light. So for both kind of, that's why there is problem when you are coming from an outside into a dark room. That's why it need to adjust, because outside the cones were activated, but in rooms the rods will be activated. So this is the phenomenon. Now lens, so it focus light on retina. It is a like of convex lens in your eyes. So if something is coming like this, it tend to converge, because अगर ये diverge करेगा तो retina के पीछे ही image बनाएगा. So that is the thing. So one thing is there. Iris, it is colored part of the hair. Okay, and then pupil, a small opening in the cornea, and cornea, transparent part of eye. This is one of the, when we heard about this eye cancer thing, this is the part which is affected by the eye cancer. Exactly, exactly, that is the thing. So cornea transplant, very important thing is there. So then we have this a spot of light, blind spot where light can't be, you can say, yellow spot is there. Phenomena related to light, persistence of vision, you can see anything only due to light. Okay, and when I say light, it does not only means visual light, you can also see through X-ray. X-ray is a kind of thing. You can also see through infrared sensing. So light means not just means just visual light. It can be from the whole spectrum, from the gamma ray to the radio waves. Okay, it is like that. Well, okay, just tell me, gamma ray having higher frequency or higher wavelength?
Higher wavelength. Radio waves is the highest frequency, sir.
Higher frequency they have. Okay,
Radio waves is the lowest frequency.
Yeah.
That's why they
that's why they have the highest wavelength. Yeah, exactly. So now which are the instruments are used? They are kaleidoscope and periscope. So yeah, this is very important. Kaleidoscope works on the principle of diffused light. This question may arrive there. Okay, and periscope, वो जो सर पे लगा के you see, tend to see. And care of eyes, now they are treating us like a child. Don't look at the sun directly. Okay, use suitable spectacles and wash eye frequently. This was for the 9th standard child, not for us.
that kaleidoscope has any specific prism, or you using any kind of prism?
No, a specific prism should be there. No? Two angles separated like this. Okay.
That
Yeah, exactly. If prism is there, dispersion will be the phenomenon. Okay. Now, what is a pollution?
The air can be affected by any unwanted.
I'm asking what is a pollution, not a specific air pollution.
Sir, contamination of some unwanted.
Exactly. Contamination of any unwanted substance or degradation of quality due to that contamination. Simple. Okay. So pollution can be water pollution, soil pollution, noise pollution, air pollution. So contamination of air, as Suranjoy told, through air pollutants. So a smoke, dust, forest fire, volcanic eruption. Okay. Causes of air pollution, emission from factories, harmful gases from power plants, automobile exhaust, and all those things. Okay. Major gaseous pollutants, CO, carbon monoxide. Why carbon monoxide? Because carbon monoxide forms ground ozone in when they react with this one volatile oxide compounds, and they form ozone, which is ground level ozone is very harmful for you, even for me, everyone. Okay, I'm saying a specific to Maruki, like it will be,
Harmful for human.
yeah, huh?
Harmful for human.
Every life, yeah, exactly, because it will be very degrading to our lungs and all those things. From your skin cancer, causing some kind of a skin cancer is there. Okay, so causes of air pollution I've discussed. Major gases, major effect of respiratory, the first thing. Then increase of a smoke, visibility is their problem. Acid rain is there, like NO2 and SO2. Yeah, one thing is there might be question, does CO2 cause acid rain? And what is an acid rain basically? They will give directly, क्योंकि यूपीएससी में क्वेश्चन पूछा है उन्होंने सीएससी में, and they may give this kind of question.
So in atmosphere, the acid can be precipitated as a.
What is pH of acid rain? What is pH? Sorry, what is pH of normal rain? Not pure water or 7 नहीं होगा. It is 5.6. So any rainfall which have acidity lower than this 5.6 will be termed as acid rain. So CO2 is not able to, you can say, decrease the pH to that level. Okay, this substance NO2 and SO2 tend to decrease a lot of that pH. That's why those are the rains which tend to form acid rain, not CO2 or CO like thing. Okay, always remember. Then we have this air pollution, greenhouse effect. Look, carbon dioxide is one of the potent source of this greenhouse effect. But when we talk about the unit for unit problem, methane is 84 times problematic than then we have this SF6 and HF6 hydrofluorides and all. They have very much competent to do this global warming, but their percentage is so low. That's why this carbon dioxide is very much problematic, because they are in some larger quantity. So what is a greenhouse effect? The averaging temperature increases and all those things. Okay, you are knowing this thing, so don't need to. Causes of water, when causes of water pollution, sewage, toxic chemical. Then harmful effects, any water which get contaminated, non-potable, means it is not, you can say, fit for human use and all. Harmful for aquatic life. And eutrophication. What is eutrophication? I have used that term. That is, you can say, mixing of water with this nitrogenous wastage and phosphatic wastage, and then rapid depletion of oxygen in the water body. Okay, due to the higher intense primary growth. Okay, measure to control, again chlorination, boiling water, making water. Governmental measure, that Ujjwala Yojana and all those things, CNG, mandatory CNG uses in Delhi, it is like that. Marble cancer are caused due to acid rain, like is Taj Mahal and all. So, and also another cause is suspended particulate matter. There are two: dry acid rain and wet acid rain. So what happened when we talk about the dry acid rain? Dry acid rain is like raining naturally, but when it goes into some interaction with this suspended particulate matter, which is also having some constituent of this what we call SO2 NO2, so they tend to make acidic medium. So that is dry acidic. But base acidic rain are formed naturally by the contamination of the clouds by those acids, matlab ki acid compounds present in the atmosphere. Okay, so it is like that. Now something like here, yeah, this one I discussed. Okay, when does a sound become a noise and when does it become a music? You tell me. If you give guitar in my hand, it will be a noise. If I will give guitar in your hand, it will be a music. So what is the difference?
Decibel change.
Music gives pleasant.
Exactly. So music is pleasant because it is periodic, and noise why? Because it is non-periodic. It is some random type of irritating thing there. So sound propagation maximum in solid, medium in liquid, and minimum in gases. Like in air, it is 330 meters per second. In solid, it can reach up to a very larger scale. Okay. Even P waves are like sound waves. Okay. Always remember. Instrument, they are a stringed instrument, violin, a sitar, then percussion instrument. These all are the examples, so you don't have to go. Then characteristic of sound. So what are the characteristic of sound? Sound is a form of energy produced by vibrating object, means vibration is the prerequisite of sound, and to and for motion in body called vibration and need medium to propagate. Unlike light, they don't need medium to propagate. Why they need medium to propagate? Because they are mechanical waves, and mechanical waves can't propagate without any medium. Okay, now terms related to sound waves, we have amplitude, we have time period, we have frequency and wavelength. So okay, so amplitude is the maximum displacement, means loudness of sound depend on this thing. Time period, time taken to complete one oscillation and all those things. Then quality of sound, we have timbre, pitch and loudness. So loudness depend on amplitude, pitch depends on frequency, and then we have types of sound. We have ultrasonic sound, which we are not able to hear. Then we have this audible sound, which we are able to hear, that is 20 to 20,000 hertz for a normal adult. Children used to hear even a lower frequency sound. Okay, then infrasonic sound, less than 20 hertz, some of the babies and also the elephant tend to hear this thing. For ultrasonic, dolphins used to produce ultrasonic sound and all those things. The whistle is like there. Noise pollution, you know already. An organ involved in sound production are outer ear, middle ear, inner ear. So these are the things. Okay. So now we will see. Should I take 1 minute of rest, I guess?
So for BRC exam,
Bark.
we should also focus on this
Yeah,
gender.
exactly. Very important. And especially from the 11th and 12th class. That is very like, even they will give question from this very nurse equation and all those things from derivations. Even they will give sometime derivations in their MCQ and all those things. So for that, like for this examination, the class 6, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th is much more important. For BARC, it is your 11th and 12th is very important. Okay.
Physics and chemistry.
Yeah, exactly. They have nothing to do with biology. I can.
Then sir, we should give less priority to paleontology and all.
Of course. Look, paleontology is very important from academic point of view, but not from job point of view. I can say that thing.
But after getting into job, paleontology.
Yeah.
Example. Attach one not maybe 18. Oh, that it's better tomorrow I should visit the venue.
Okay, next part is some natural phenomena. Okay. So, when I say some natural phenomena, some are destructive natural phenomena. Okay. So, when I say destructive natural phenomena, some of the examples are cyclones, tsunami, earthquake, droughts, and lightning. Okay. Now, one thing is there, when we talk about the earthquake, what is earthquake? It is sudden shaking of earth, sudden trembling. So, can cause floods, tsunami, landslide. Power of an earthquake, Richter scale, that explains. One thing is, what is difference between intense Marcelli scale and Richter scale? Marcelli scale used to measure the intensity. Okay. Richter scale, magnitude. Okay. So, but there is another further thing in Richter scale. What is that name? Moment magnitude scale. Yeah, moment magnitude scale is there. So, one thing is there. So, seismograph that makes that record, and okay, protection against earthquake. This is not a child class, so I will hide under the table and all those things. So, and then some natural phenomena. Another one is electric discharge. So, this electric discharge is cause of electric thunderbolt and all those things. So, cause lightning. There is production of sound, production a streak of bright light, and negative and positive charge meet. Like at the one part of cloud that is large, that is completely positive, one is negative. So there is flow of charge between, and then how the lightning is produced. When we talk about the electricity, there are two kind of electricity. A static electricity, this go pain like if you rub and it will try to stick the papers on that is a static electricity. Another one is flowing electricity, that is current electricity. Now lightning, we don't need to discuss how it destroy life and all those things. Concept of electricity, earthing. Why earthing? Transfer of charge from charge body and protect building from the earth. Yes. Electroscope, what is this? This is very important. Like electroscope are used, where it went, yeah, electroscope are used to detect the presence of charge. Okay, so when discharge is shown no response, naturally it will not show. So these are some of the examples of natural phenomena. Yeah, now chemical effects of current. This will be important for your work later. Okay, not for today, but so what is an electricity?
Charges flowing electrically.
Exactly, electricity is flow of electrons, simple. Okay, so which produces, what does it produces? It produces light energy as well as heat energy for the simplest of sense. Okay, so what are conductors? There are two kind of conductor, good conductor, bad conductor. Then there is electroplating, which is used to make the terminals anode or cathode. Okay, like electrode connected to positive terminal, it is called as anode, and then cathode. Very basics you already. Use of electroplating, coating metal objects like chromium plating on some metals, making surface shining. Like you have saw this in car metals and all, they used to do this electroplating and all those things.
Ceramic coating.
Exact, no, ceramic coating is different thing. I will discuss it later, but that is like chromium coating and all those things. Okay.
For protection of the paint and all.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a ceramic, sir.
That is chromium. Ceramic is different thing. Okay, there you are also right, but it is not electroplating. Zinc coating is there, so it is like that. Then electroplate less expensive metals to preserve a more precious metal is there. Okay. Electroplating examples, chromium, as I told, electroplated with chromium. So objects like tapes, car parts, wheel rims, all are there. So why we do this chromium plating? It resistant to a scratchage, and it does not corrode, and the surface is shining there. Okay. Jewelry, it is electroplated with silver and gold, and if it is, this electroplatation is made with cheap metals. Okay, because otherwise it will be costing so high. Effect of electricity, we have chemical effect. Current passes through liquid, not through pure water. Always there should be some solids in water, then it will conduct electricity. Pure water does not conduct electricity, always remember this thing. Then this has heating effect, बल्ब क्यों वार्म हो जाता है जलने के बाद, इट इज ड्यू टू दैट. एंड देन magnetic effect, deflection of magnetic needle and current flowing into water, then again that solenoid part and all those electromagnetic property. Conserve electricity, LED light use करो, switch off fans जब room से निकला करो and all those things, so that is not there. Now,
Excuse me, sir.
yeah.
Sir, you are talking about the pure water. I mean, conductance of that electricity in water is because of some other ions.
Yeah, if it is pure water, there will be not be any different ion. It is completely H2O actually.
So the distilled water.
Yeah, exactly. It does not conduct electricity. That's the thing. Like, look, water always conduct electricity due to presence of mostly this KCl, NaCl. Like these are the common minerals, or you can say ions in the water. So, yeah, exactly. So that's why a pure or distilled water never conduct electricity. It depends what you are taking in the definition. If you are saying a water with TDS of 20 is like a pure water, of course, for the social sense, it is a pure water, but it has some sense of ions there. So definitely that will be some kind of.
Sir, is distilled water potable for drinking?
No. You may drink, but I don't. Repercussion will not be good.
No mineral, it's
Exactly. And sometimes even like on the shipyard or the ship yacht or there, maybe personnel used to drink water with TDS of 3 or 5, but they tend to get salt from other form of food, but it is not advisable to drink. You may drink, but you should not be trying that thing. Okay, that is it. These are mostly used in battery and all the thing. Yeah, exactly. Matter in our surroundings, solid, liquid, gas. I don't need to discuss this thing, you know already. But no, this is important. Solid, water solid, they have high density enough. These two, Bose-Einstein condensates. And then, very important, plasma. Okay. So, what is a plasma? So these are the gas carrying electrical charge conduct electricity. This coronal mass ejection by sun is also a plasma. So they are very hot gases, like in million of degree of temperature. So they tend to carry this electrical charge, and particle in excited state gives off light, like lightning plasma TV. So somehow we have manipulated this property even in a normal room temperature also. And fluorescent lights in a star is example of plasma. Bose-Einstein condensate. So basically, it was the earlier discovery of Subhash Chandra Basu or something like that. I am forgetting his name. So later Einstein also worked on that. So they are like super critical objects because they are near zero temperature, not 0°C. It is 0 Kelvin. Okay. So it is like that. So they may be possessing superconductivity, property of superconductivity. So these are Bose-Einstein condensates are like that. That's why there is a lot of work going on to, like, they will be very useful in creating super magnets and all those things. Okay, so it is like that. Yeah, it can be used, but for making that much amount, it will be taking a lot of research, I can say, that is there. A pure substance and impure, that is not a problem. Yeah, now important again. Okay, so what are the laws which you have come across your classroom thing? Like, what are the laws related to atom and molecules? The first law was conservation of mass, that is neither created or destroyed. So it was proposed by the Lavoisier and Joseph Proust. So you should be remembering the name because it is not a typical UPSC examination. In this case, they will give this factual information they may ask. So constant proportion, so mass of hydrogen is always this like this. So what are the properties of atom? No need to discuss. Molecules, two or more atoms chemically bonded, they form these molecules. So what is an ion? Ion has some kind of charge. Then chemical formula is like there, they possess some kind of chemical formula. For HCl, we have this HCl minus and all those things. Mass, sum of all atomic mass of atoms, and then molecular symbol is there. And what is mole concept? Quantity characterized by number of molecules. There was a term called, it is a term called Avogadro number. Avogadro constant. Do you remember this thing? 6.23 into 10 to the power 23. Yeah, I am also remembering this thing. So these are some of the property which of you can go through the slide. There does not need to any explanation in this case. Okay, so you should be remembering these numbers and all. This classroom times and all. So a structure of atoms, different kind of proposals has been made with time like there. So we have this Thomson model of an atom, we have Rutherford model of an atom, then the slightly refined Bohr's model of an atom. So if you have seen this movie Oppenheimer, there was Niels Bohr was also there as a mentor in the beginning where he was trying to feed him an poisonous apple or something like that. Okay. So Thomson model of an atom, it is like a plum pudding model where he considered atom as like a plum. So in negative charge are spread like this. So an atom consists of positively charged sphere and electrons are embedded in it. If you make Christmas plum or something, you can see the dry fruits or raisins are like this thing. Okay. An atom is electrically neutral. For him, the ions does not exist. That is the thing. Okay. Rutherford, a very, you can say, improvement on that thing. Nucleus in present in center because he bombarded the gold filled with some of the electron. Electron revolves around the nucleus in well-defined circular orbits, and size of nucleus is very small because 1 out of 80,000 beams never refracted back. From there he tend ki size of nucleus is very small. So this was a very important finding, and later he also got Nobel Prize for this thing. Bohr's model of an atom, they have discrete orbits that are allowed inside an atoms. Okay. Yeah, this is a very reformed theory. Otherwise, there is also this Bohr-Bury scheme. Okay, so revolving in discrete orbit, that is K cell, N cell, and all those cell is there. Now distribution of electron. So this one is the formula, 2n square. Okay, so for distribution of electrons in any given cell is there. Outermost orbit can accommodate maximum number of 8 electrons, but this is a restriction on this formula. Okay, the cells are filled in a spaced manner, means first there will be K cell, then N cell, फिर M cell, जो भी इस type से M, sorry, K, M, N cell, like this. Okay, now well, yeah, like this. Okay, you should be going through that one. So what is a valency? It is the number of electron in outermost cell. So chlorine has valency of, so why 1?
Because it needs 1 electron to...
Exactly. So it is like how what electron is required to either subtract or add to make it a stable atom. So chlorine is 7, so it requires 1 to become 8, because you can say, see, 8 is the, you can say, accommodate maximum number of 8 electrons. That's why it is like that. But 1 is the valency. And what will be the valence electron in chlorine? It will be 7. Okay, these are the terminologies, slight difference, valency and valence electron. That is different thing, although related, but different is there. So what is an isotope? They are having same element, having same atomic number, but different mass number. So best example is hydrogen, protium, and all those things. Isobars, they are different element with, if they are different element, definitely they will be having different atomic number, but same mass number. Okay. Then we have this neutron, which is discovered by James Chadwick. Mass is equal to that proportion, and Albert Goldstein, like proton is discovered by Albert Goldstein and neutron is discovered by James Chadwick. Okay, so these are some basic information there. ये सब मैं अगर explain it a lot of time I can say there. Okay, now tell me, already you have seen what is a motion, movement process ko. So you can see there are type of motion, random motion, I am going like this is random motion, translation motion. Translation means, there you have also learned this thing in translational shear or translational strain on all those things. So translation motion is moving of whole body from one to different place. Okay, so what happens in translation, like all the point which was a specific body, their orientation does not changes. Okay, so if I am moving from here, it is a kind of translation motion because all the particles which were relative to each other in the constant orientation. So that is rectilinear, curvilinear or circular. So what is rectilinear? It is a straight translation moment from A to B, like this one. What is curvilinear? It is like this, A to B. And what is circular? It is like A to B, but it is coming back here. Then again it is a circular motion. Okay. Then we have rotational motion and oscillatory motion. Rotational means, I will not show you this one. So this is kind of torque or something is there. So this is rotational motion, and then
Oscillatory is pendulum.
pendulum time of time related. So and then among the circular motion we have this uniform circular motion. The formula is velocity is equal to 2 pi r upon t. R is the distance or radius. Using the radius you can get there. Uniform motion, equal distance in equal interval of time, and non-uniform motion, that, yeah, exactly. So these are the very simple, or you can say that final is to u square plus 2as, and then s is equal to u2 into half at acceleration relation and all those things. So okay, a speed, velocity and acceleration. So what is difference between a speed and velocity?
One is scalar and another is
Exactly. So a speed is a scalar and velocity is vector, because vector, there is a difference, because in a speed we are, yeah, exactly, Marthu. In a speed we are using distance, but velocity is not distance upon time, it is displacement upon time. So that is the difference. And acceleration, it is change in velocity over time taken. Okay, it is not change in a speed, it is change in velocity. So these are the simple terms you should be wary of. Okay. Now force.
while in a motion, say for example a car is moving, and since it's starting point, it has previous some particular speed, say for example 5 kilometer per hour, and after that the speed increases and it becomes 6 kilometer per hour. So this 5 will be the initial velocity,
Exactly.
and second will be the final velocity.
Yeah, and average velocity will be 5 plus 6 upon VC. Yeah, exactly.
When we used to calculate numerical problems related to these things in our 9th class, 10th class, our teacher used to say like that, if you are confused with the initial and final velocity regarding the question, if the question says that the object comes to a stop, then you should think that final velocity is 0.
Yeah, exactly. Final velocity. Like, look, when I am saying AC, that formula, it is for the object in motion. That is the thing. Okay. That is, and you are taking overall average velocity in that case. So that is the point there. So what you are asking like that?
I'm trying to ask, and when he was saying to me that when in the question, if it is mentioned that the object starts from rest, then initial velocity will be 0. And if it is mentioned that it comes to a stop, then final velocity will be 0. But whenever any object is moving, before it will be at rest,
Exactly.
and it will start moving and it will again stop.
Exactly.
So in this case, which will be the initial and final velocity?
It depends on how you take the relative terms actually. Look, if from that part, if you are asking this thing like this one, v square minus u square is equal to 2s. These all are formula for equation in motion, means they are moving, not they have stopped. If they will stop, one of them will become 0, or from where, which point you are taking the initial motion. From beginning, definitely both will be 0. So there is no equation there. But it is only equations of motion, not for a thing which has just stopped till now. Okay, so that is the difference. Although very good observation, I can say that. Very nice. This is the. It is all those things, like it depends on how you perceiving that thing, like from where you are taking the point, like from A to B, and like in circular motion. At the end of the day, it is going to the same place, but it depends on from which point you are taking that portion. That is important there. Okay. Now we have this forces and law of motion. So first law, inertia, well, like this. Why it is not getting? Yeah. So first law is the tendency of undisturbed objects to stay at rest or keep moving with the same velocity. Yani this gives about the inertial property of an object, inertia or inertial property. The second law is about the, okay, sorry. And first laser mass, laser inertia. If suppose if I am trying to push a light bit at something, it will be not able to resist. Inertia is what? It is your resistance to force applied, basically, simple term. Second law is rate of change of momentum with respect to time to equal to a non-zero external force like this one. So force is equal to mass into acceleration. This term is used when you try to jump from a train, moving train, you may roll over after doing this. So this was that. And third law is every action. Oh, this one is so iconic line in every action has equal and opposite reaction. Okay. Now we have this reference equation that final velocity is equal to u plus minus at and all those things. So now law of conservation of momentum. Momentum before collision is equal to momentum after collision. So there is conservation of momentum. And what is force? Force is a push or pull acting on body, as he told. In the different type of force is there. For mass it is kg. Okay, like what is mass and what is difference in mass and weight? Weight is a kind of force, okay, but mass is a scalar quantity, okay. Weight is a vector quantity, I can say. Momentum is mass into velocity, I can say there, okay. And what is force? Mass into acceleration, exactly. This is gravitation. So I have already discussed with you the difference between mass and weight. What is mass and what is weight? So weight, to find weight, you have to use the similar formula, that is mass into acceleration. That is g is what? It is acceleration due to gravity. So to find weight, we have mass into g, that is acceleration due to gravity, okay. So that's why weight of body changes from planet to planet, but mass is the measure of inertia. Yeah, this is a very good point. What offers inertia? It is not your weight, it is the mass which offer inertia, okay. So mass of a body is constant everywhere as it is a fundamental quantity, okay, or you can say inherent quantity, okay. So universal law of attraction, force that bind of earth, motion of moon, these are not the thing you need to worry about. Now
Weight is mass into acceleration.
Yeah, g is what? G is mass due to acceleration due to gravity. So that is mass into acceleration. Basically weight is force, okay. So force का formula है mass into acceleration. Here on earth we take it mass into acceleration due to gravity, that is g, okay. So this is the thing. Now so this is flotation. The very principle you can be using here is Archimedes principle, okay. So when a body is immersed partially or completely in fluid, it experiences an upthrust, and that is equal to weight of fluid displaced by the body. Means only then it will float when the weight liquid is removed by or displaced by body is equal to the weight of that body. So if the weight of body is higher than the liquid, it will sink. If it is somewhat similar to the weight of that water display, it will like a float or sink like. And when it will be lower than then, it is used in ship, because that's why they have this chamber of filled with air to reduce their weight, okay. Now how density, what is density? It is the mass of unit volume per wo wala. Density is equal to mass upon volume. Then we have this relative density. A specific gravity is a kind of relative density there. Mathematical concept, you have to you can say memorize the formula there, okay. Now you have lactometers that determine the purity of sample of milk, that is used on the basis of difference in density, okay. Always remember, hydrometers are used for the difference in density of different liquid, okay. Now anything not important here, you have to remember Archimedes principle and these three things. Yeah, law of flotation is there, and then lactometers and hydrometers. Okay, this is the thing there. Now we have work, energy and power. So you can see we have forms of energy, so potential energy and kinetic energy, and at any kind the addition of potential and kinetic energy is 0, it is constant. So suppose if there is this pail, so what is the potential energy? Potential energy is any energy which is by their virtue of position. So it is mgh. What is m? The mass. G is acceleration due to gravity, and height is like this potential. Okay, so once it will start falling down, the potential energy will be started to reduce and getting converted into kinetic energy, which is half mv square. That is velocity and mass is there. Okay, other form of energy, you know these things like electrical, sound, light and all those things. And then energy is what? Energy is capacity to do work. It is capacity to do work. Even if you are applying energy, there is no guarantee there will be some work, because work requires there should be some displacement. Okay, even if I am, you can say, putting all my energy to move a rock, if it is not moving, there will be 0 work. Okay, so it is like that. For work there should be definitely be some displacement. So these are the formula and all those things you will be remembering. So yeah, while pushing a ball, there is work is 0 and displacement is 0. Okay, okay, but energy is getting applied there, and work done formula is force into displacement. You will see it later. Okay, law of conservation of energy. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be only be transformed. Then what is power? Power is work upon time, that is force into velocity. This formula you should see it later, and the dimensions there, and unit of power is watt. Okay, so simple as that. Again, oh, sound तो हम लोगों ने पढ़ लिया है already. Okay, just to get a view. Okay, how are sound produced? They are produced due to vibrations. Okay, so the sound are produced due to vibration, and what is the travel nature? It propagates in form of compression and rarefaction, something similar in P waves. Okay, P waves is sound waves basically. Okay, or pressure waves. These are also pressure waves because there is compression and rarefaction. Okay, now distance covered by sound during echo, to find that it is 2D, where from where it is getting reflected, and then law of reflection of sound, something similar to law of reflection of light. Sonar, what is sonar? It is used in, you can say it is something similar to radar. Radar uses electromagnetic waves, sonar uses sound waves to exactly, to know the depth. Okay, so navigation in sea, depth of sea, and search operation. Okay, reflection of sound, so reflection from wall, reverberation. So why reverberation is not you can say required? Reverberation, being you are you can say absorbed in this musical thing and all, that's why there is soundproofing done on the auditorium to prevent this reverberation. Okay, what is echo? You know this thing. Okay, so audible range is 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Symbol, amplitude, wavelength and all those things. A speed is wavelength into frequency simply. And then this sound require a medium for its propagation and all those things. Okay, simple. This one is there. Okay, so this is very simple chemical reaction equation. So type of effects, oxidation and reduction. So oxidation used to tend to corrode. Like what is rusting? It is oxidation of iron in presence of humidity. Reduction, then we have this rancidity and all those things. So we have rancidity. Rancidity is, you can say, degrading of some kind of food or something like that. So when fat oxidized, and it can be prevented by adding antioxidants, okay, and using airtight containers, okay. Now we have type of chemical reaction: exothermic, endothermic, combination, decomposition, displacement. So this very simple, you should just go through there. Now we have reaction, that is change in color, state, temperature, and form an equation. So I don't need to think that there is some need of explanation here. Acid, bases, and salt already explained. Metal, non-metals, okay. Carbon and its compound, yeah, this one is important. So you can see why carbon is that much dominant in the chemistry world or in normal world, I can say.
Because it has the property of catenation.
Exactly. Catenation is what? Chain forming property of carbon, bonding of carbon with other carbon atoms. Okay. So one of the property of carbon is catenation. Another one is isomerism, is formation of different, you can say, and it is electronegative. It is electronegative and it has the tetravalency, means this one, okay, exactly. And there is this thing is saponification. These are the term you should be remembering. Later on you can say saponification is formation of the soaps and detergent. Then you have esterification, formation of esters and all those things. Then functional group: alcohol OH, aldehyde CHO, carboxylic acid COOH, ketone C double bond with oxygen, and ester. So these are the things which I need to explain, but you should be memorizing this thing later on. Type of organic compounds are cyclic and closed, like saturated and unsaturated. So this is one. And then cycling, benzene is a cyclic carbonic compound. But when we talk about alkanes, they are open, okay, this is the thing. So even in the open, we have this saturated hydrocarbon, which are alkanes, and you can say they have this time methane, ethane, and all those things. This we have read in coal, and I guess there, yeah. So we have substitution, oxidation, and combustion reaction. And among the unsaturated, we have alkenes, alkynes, and alkenes. Okay, so simple, it is like that. Now, light reflection and refraction, okay. Electricity already explained. Magnetic, yeah, this one is the last slide here. Okay, so is there any question? Okay, so one thing is there, when we talk about the magnetic effect of electric current, so the best part is about, or the some of the best applications are in form of electric generators. So in electric generation, what is happening? The electric current is produced due to rotation of coil inside the field. So, and it converts, what does electric generator do? It converts mechanical energy, that electric energy. So this is important when we talk about this thing. And then we have this domestic electric current, that is earth wire, neutral wire, live wire, you know that thing. So safety measure is there. Fuse, it protects the appliances from short circuiting. Field lines, so electric field lines and all those things. So magnetic field lines are from north to south pole. So it is like that, if there is a bar magnet, so it is north and south. So outside of magnet it is from north to south, but inside of magnet it is from south to north. So this motion should be should be there in your mind. Then we have field due to current carrying conductor. One is solenoid, this entanglement of wire around a metal. Circular loop, this is, yeah, this one, north to south, outside and inside. And conductor, okay. Now this is right hand thumb rule to find the, yeah, one is like, this is field, that thumb motion is like field, this is current and force. And then electric motion, it also, look, generator and electric motor has different property. One converts mechanical into electric motor oppositely, it converts electricals into mechanical energy. Okay, so this is that thing. So okay, this one, current carrying conductors works on Fleming left hand rules. Meanwhile, this magnetic change in magnetic field works on right hand rule. Okay, so now this was a very brief. I can know that some of the point may be left here, but the thing is that I will ask them to provide you this thing, and you have to go through this by today. Like you can find some separate 1 or 2 hours, 3 hours to go through this whole slide, because this is like, I can say that this is crux of most of the question in your examination will be solvable from this part, okay, from this whole slide and all. And I guess that it is in a very simple form, so it will not take a lot of time. So, and the thing is that maintain your calmness during examination. That is the first thing there. And the another thing is there, get a proper sleep. Even you were talking that you are getting wake up at 4 or going to sleep. So one thing is that if you will in habit of going to sleep at 4 or 3, this will hamper your preparation time and all those things. Like while examination, you are tend to be have like this thing, like your mind is telling you to be sleep at that time. So okay, so just it, and you may use coffee to make yourself awaken during that time. So this is, so ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट सर वो लेफ्ट हैंड थोड़ा सही से बोल दीजिए. ओके, लुक, when we say that there is conductor, you can say forms of current carrying conductor to magnetic field. So suppose this is left hand rule, Fleming left hand rule. So what is there? This is the thumb determines the motion, and then this determines the field, and this is the current. Okay, motion, current. Okay, so it is about the current carrying conductor. Okay, now in the magnetic fields, like when we talk about the movement of, like we are moving it like this, so in that case it is the right hand rule. So in that case, this is the movement of conductor. If it is moving like this, the magnetic field will be produced perpendicular in this way, and then the induced conductor is will be like the pointed by this finger. So this is like that. Okay, yeah, exactly. Chinmay, you got the answer? Okay, so and I will also include, इसमें तो सिर्फ physics and chemistry का, I will also include the biological part. There are 68 slides, फिर हो जाएगा बस यही है. Okay, so don't you have to worry. मतलब वो भी I guess 20-25 minutes या 1 घंटा एक्स्ट्रा देना होगा उसके लिए बस. बट दीज आर द थिंग ना कि अगर आप इसको करते हो तो 30-35 मार्क्स आ सकते हैं इससे, और वो बहुत बड़ा गेम चेंजर एक होगा इस टाइप से देखा जाए तो.